I am glad to be shopping here with you. I will sit on this chair till you're through. I will wait with your purse. I won't wander off and leave it. I am glad to be shopping here with you. And you know I'll be fine by myself because I'm also am alone at home. I'm alone at home. I would love to swing by the candle store. I agree, we can always do with more. You just get what you want, and we'll find some place to keep it. I would love to swing by the candle store. And you know I'll make room for your shit because I also am alone at home. I'm alone at home. No, I don't want you to make it up to me. I just don't want anyone to see the way we are when we're this way. Can we just not make this a thing? We can stop at your parents on the way. We haven't seen them at all since yesterday. We can't talk about plans for your cousin's birthday party. We can stop at your parents on the way. And you know I'll pretend to be nice because I also am alone at home. I'm alone at home. I'm alone at home. I'm alone at home.
Hello, hello. How are we doing today, folks? What are we up to? We're up to Fortnite. Fortnite today. Taking a break from GeoGuessr, even though that's what I've been playing a lot recently, and I've been it's been some really good streams. I figured we'd take a break from it, you know? Don't want to burn out. Burn out on that specific thing. Yeah, we're gonna be playing Fortnite with Piper and possibly the rest of the gang. Getting 80,000 notifications. Very annoying. I don't know if it's just me, but like, I can't stand having notifications on my phone. They do nothing except annoy me. I don't know why that is, but oh well. We can transition to this. Hello. Oh, what I wanted to do is, I'll throw on some music still. Turn it down a little bit though. There we go. I wanted to look up something about that song that I was just listening
When I was a young boy, I'd follow the path
to.
down past the dunes to the
Alone at
sea.
Home.
There on the warm
Yeah, I should link my Spotify in my About page.
sandy old lobsters and me. They'd whistle
Because why not?
squeal as they ran through the waves, so sleek, so furry.
Alone at Home.
Now when I go down to see my old friends, the beaches are empty and bare. Sing hey Heidi ho, where the old lobster go, and his body's so furry and brown.
Okay, nice.
Sing,
Okay,
"Oh, Heidi,
we're gonna
hey,
join her now,
have
so we're gonna stop the music, at least for now. We might turn it back on. Who knows? We'll see. Okay. Hello.
Hello.
Hello. I am alive.
Nice.
Nice.
Like you said, I'm live.
Yeah.
And then I said, burp.
Let me turn you up. Problem is, I always turn you up because you're quiet, but then the rest of your family is so loud.
I can. It's because I'm on little. I don't know. I don't know why.
I can also probably, hold on. Oh, no, you're actually maxed out, so that's fine. Oh, I can just turn the volume up a little bit, I guess. That does make sense.
What?
Me turning the volume up.
Oh, yeah. That it does.
Mm-hmm. All right.
Okay, I wrote down a list of the season things I need to do.
Okay.
But first, let's do some dailies.
We
I
can
have
do 'em
one
at the
last
same time.
Omni. That's a good point.
Okay.
I'm
Where?
gonna do my final Omni chips.
Oh, right.
Let's do this. I only have one last one to get there. So annoying. Do I want second dinner today?
What'd you have for first dinner?
Mexican.
What?
The Mexican restaurant near my house with Jen.
Oh, okay. Then, yeah, sure. When?
At 6.
Okay.
Because Jen lives like 10 blocks from that apartment.
Mm-hmm.
I have been cleaning.
That's good.
Very convenient.
I'm low.
Okay, I need to land in a vehicle
In the vehicle?
within 10 seconds of
okay.
landing. I'm gonna go for this car here.
Which there's not a boot on it.
I did it.
Nice.
I know, I was floating over so I could see if there were boots or not.
Rocket launcher. What was the point of that
Chest.
guy? Something's near me.
Oh! Guess what I just pulled?
What?
Legendary railgun.
Nice.
Just good because I need to do damage with the railgun.
Yes.
And if it's a better railgun,
More damage.
the more damage I do. So glad you're on the same page as me.
Hey, bud, where you going?
Oh, I forgot I'm supposed to be looking for my...
I think it's probably on the other side.
Yeah. Probably. Let me finish looting this house then.
Do I hear your friend?
My second chest I opened had a legendary anvil rocket launcher.
Damn. Getting lucky today.
It was with one of the special chests.
Mm.
You can have it though.
I don't want it.
No quiero. I wish there were rocket launchers.
It might come back next season.
Do they
It might.
think? Oh,
I don't
I
know.
hope they do. Life just isn't the same without them.
Fair enough. I mean, they weren't there for much of last chapter.
Don't lie to me.
I'm not.
Don't you
They
dare
were there for like the
lie.
last
Don't you
season,
dare
pretty much.
say
And I think that was
word.
it. Maybe the early season of the chapter. I don't really remember.
Blasphemy.
Back when they were. I wonder if we'll ever get the
Where
normal.
the fuck is this chest? It's probably below.
Yeah, it is.
I just need something short range. Just one.
Go take that big. Also, take that.
Oh,
if you
no,
want it.
you can.
No, you need it more.
Okay, core.
Simple shield economics.
Okay, let me go ground for my.
Oh, but what I was saying is, I wonder if we'll ever get the normal guns back. You know, like the normal AR, the normal SMG. That kind
What do you
of
mean
stuff.
the normal?
Like the ones that aren't like a like combat SMG or Stinger or
Ranger?
special things, or yeah, Ranger, just the normal like AR
Oh, I remember
assault rifle.
those.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. The
Way
Scar,
back when.
you know.
Yeah. What does a scar mean?
Well, the Scar is like the real life counterpart to the. You know how like the guns. Well, I don't know if any of these guns do it. I don't think they do.
Whoa!
Yeah,
Somebody's
yeah, I hear 'em.
firing at me.
You know how when you got purple and golds before with other guns, they would have a different appearance than the other ones.
Help!
Come. Oh, I missed
I
that.
just want to get my stupid headshots.
Did
Wait,
you?
wait, wait.
Nice.
Stop moving. Okay, I got my headshots
Good job.
with the right.
You want this?
Oh, yeah, I need to do damage with one of those as well.
There you go.
Now I don't need this anymore. Okay, let me cross things off. Okay, I did this one. And then I did opponent headshot damage striker first.
Or like, remember tax?
Yes. I of
wonder if
course
those will
know
ever come
tax. Bad. Oh, I need this.
Or just normal pumps, I guess, too. Yeah?
I'm talking to myself.
Oh.
Don't worry.
Okay.
I was just looking at other things I need to do. Okay, I need to damage people with light machine gun. Oh, are there turrets around here? I need to repair a
Big here.
turret.
No, there isn't.
What can we go somewhere with turrets?
Yeah, I gotta think about where that would be. What? Maybe Coney?
The fortress, the collider, either of those places, they're all in storm.
Yeah. I don't know if the launchers count as turrets. That's the thing.
It just says any turret, so I don't.
I know. I don't know if they count.
Yeah.
I don't know if they're not like. I don't know if they're treated as turrets or if they mean like the actual turrets.
I imagine just the ones that like are on the side of the road and launch.
Yeah. Oh, is Sanctuary in? There's one at Sanctuary, isn't there? Oh, the one in Sanctuary is
want
not
that.
in.
Where's that from?
The drum? Oh, it's right here. It's on a balcony.
I like the drums.
I know you do. Why did I do that? That was dumb of me. Just jump
There's
down
some chug,
for
there's
no
some
reason.
chug splashes. Why didn't you land in the water?
I don't know.
Well, that's silly of you.
It is.
You
I'll
silly
find-
boy.
I hear a crow. Try and kill it. There we go. Oh, wait. It gave me two? That's weird.
Hmm?
Oh, the crows give you two. I thought the crows only
Okay,
gave you
crows
one.
give you-
One meat.
I hear footsteps.
Okay.
Whoa.
Okay.
Yeah, they're coming at me from all sides.
Oh, well, one of them's not
How
coming at
did
you
you
anymore.
find? Wait.
Oh, that was... Man, I'm really whiffing these shots now. Oh boy. It's getting super hot. There we go.
Okay. Yeah, I took care of this one.
awful.
It was our
Took me
bounty.
Nice. It took me far too long.
I
Hey,
was doing
they
damage
had a
with
gold
my,
stinger though. I don't know why they didn't
with
shoot
my-
at me.
with my silly little what's it called? Light machine gun.
Nice.
I think I finished that. Let me look. Nope. I still have to do more damage. but I did some damage, I guess. Hop in a car now. I need a ranger shotgun.
I have one.
Can we switch? Sorry.
No, you're fine.
This has more fuel.
Okay. Hey, watch it.
Take me to a turret.
I'll try. I think there must
Try
be some
harder.
coming. Coney 2012.
They're literally everywhere.
They're not. At all. They're like specifically, I think, at places where battles took place.
We're talking about the things like that you can launch yourself from.
No, that's what I was saying. I don't know if those count as turrets.
It says any turret. It doesn't say like specific type of turret.
I know, but that might not be a turret. Oh, we got someone on us, by the way.
I found some bad guys.
What the hell was that? That was weird. Nice. He nicely didn't and waited to shoot at you until you were reloaded.
Yeah, for real. Okay, I did my quest with my light machine gun.
Whoops. Thank you.
So I can cross that off.
Yeah.
With my LMG. Check. Ooh, sniper.
Storm's kind of moving in on us. Oh, here,
Oh, here's a
turret right
rift.
here, turret right there. Yeah, I know. Trying to look for. It's not one here.
Taking that.
Is this open? It's not.
I have no health.
Alright, let's go. It's not too far. Use the rift.
Hold on, I know. Okay, where are you? Rift?
Nice.
I'm gonna
We can try to go to the drop, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I hear fighting.
Yeah, there's two teams over there. Ooh, I'm getting lit up. Ooh, I'm on 3 health. Jesus Christ.
Okay, I'll try and cover you for the best I have.
That doesn't help me at all. I'll find it.
Oh! I'm gonna be dead.
Come, try and
I'm
come
on
over
1
here.
health.
Yeah.
Sorry, Ben. I could not come to you.
Did you get that quest done at least?
I did. I got the repair turret done.
That's good. Can you crawl to me?
Oh, I forgot.
You always forget.
Oh, there's a crow. You should try and kill the crow for
I'm full.
flesh. Baby, it's almost your birthday.
What'd you say?
I said it's almost your birthday.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah. 2022.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Kind of.
Thank you.
No problem.
Crowns.
I wouldn't do that.
Okay, won't do that. Going this way.
Yeah, let's go over here. You have any heals?
Enemy damage opponent. Nope, with repair torch.
Good
I've
luck
just
with
been
that.
carrying things for my quests. I'll take those.
Okay. Please have something in here. The burst, but that's it.
I hear
People.
somebody coming.
Damn it.
Is there not like a cornfield we can go? I found somebody. Ah! Ah! I'm dead.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Oh, come on. Yeah, it was killed by Sloane's burst rifle.
Happens.
Mm-hmm.
Oopsies. It happens to the best of us.
What this?
Wait, hold on. Let me look at my quest I completed.
There we go.
Damage points.
We didn't finish a single daily.
No, but I finished like 4 season quests.
Oh, that's good.
And finished my Omni chips. So, I will take it. Uh-oh.
What?
My foot's starting to hurt again.
Your
Where
foot's starting to hurt?
when I touch it where I had my infection.
That's not good.
No. Well, you might be taking me to the ER.
Great.
I love you.
Mm-hmm.
I do. Would you be mad at me if we had to go to the ER?
No, of course not. We should go.
I need to go to Chonkers or Snaps.
Snaps.
Synapse Station?
Oh, Snaps. Okay, let's go Chonkers.
Chonkers! I need to repair vehicle at Chonkers.
You're at 150. Once you get here,
Yeah.
if we're just like straight up grinding for a few days, you're gonna get to 200.
That's what I said. How do I have 10 health? Why does it say I have 10 health? I'm confused.
It says you have 100 for me.
Yeah, maybe it's just glitched. Don't have 100 the whole time, even though it only says
That'd be
10.
pretty cool.
That would be cool. Oh no, I have 100 now.
Okay.
I had 10 health and no shield, so now I have 100 health and shield.
Weird.
So many people.
Tactical
Look
Overshield
for-
was an interesting update
Yeah, I
because
like it.
it increases survivability, but it also,
Makes it harder to kill people.
yeah,
Whoa!
a lot of people here.
Look at all those colorful
Chickens.
box on top of each other.
Yeah, you haven't seen
I
that.
forgot the word for them. Yeah.
Storage boxes.
Storage boxes. Yeah.
They have nothing but throwable so far. All right, there we go.
We're done.
I straight up have like, I don't have anything good. There we go. Just let me take these.
I need a repair torch. Whoa.
Okay. Oof.
Yeah.
Ooh. What am I stuck on? Jesus Christ. Got stuck on something. Oh, it's a table, I think. That's really annoying.
I need to hit them from like 50 meters away. Are they 50 meters away?
I knocked
Probably
one.
not. I hit one a couple times. They're around somewhere.
Okay.
I hear footsteps.
I think there were at least two other teams here or around here.
Did Nick join? Did I make him join?
Oh, there's one over here. Nick. Wait. Where is he?
Did I successfully let Nick into the...
There he is. Oh, I missed that shot. Oh my god. I'm not doing too hot. There we go. Jeez. Yeah, he's here.
I'm gonna keep looking for a...
I have 3 bigs. I'm gonna take 2. You can have 1.
I'm actually dead.
Yeah. I can see that.
Yeah. Okay. So glad.
I'm gonna crawl to safety. There's another guy in here.
Me crawling to safety?
Yeah, I know
What
it's a crazy thought.
weird concept.
Oh, come on. Hit the goddamn post. Ooh, that was a dirty shot. That was a terrible shot. Thank you for leaving. Alright, come over here.
I'm in safety.
Yeah, I know. There's a flopper up here. I think there might be one more person around. We'll see.
Okay.
There's a flopper up here. There's two floppers up
Hold
here.
on.
That was god awful. And there's some meat. Oh, actually, let me eat one of these. Alright. Have you found a repair torch?
Nope.
What are you doing?
Hold on.
Hmm?
Said, hold on. Just ordering some food. It closes at 9:30, so the time is of the essence.
Alright, I have
Here's some
full shield
honest
for you.
decline.
Yeah, I know. There's
Okay,
full shield right near you.
I have
Doesn't look like they're
breakfast
gonna bother
also.
us. I'd love an
Have you
SMG.
found a
A
repair?
repair torch? No. I'm gonna max out this malfunctioning vending machine though.
Okay. Oh, I love malfunction vending machine.
It's chicken. It's a dead chicken.
That is not a repair torch.
Alright. We have a gold ranger. A purple striker pump. Couple bigs. Flopper. And a swordfish.
Where's like a garage or something? Isn't this like the whole car area?
Yeah.
Must be one.
Look for like tool chests, you know?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
If you want to carry minis, there's minis there.
I can't carry anything at the moment. Hold on.
Okay.
I need a repair torch. And more than
Looking for one?
more than one sniper bullet, because I currently have one.
Are you carrying snipers for a reason?
I'm carrying a railgun.
Oh.
Just use
I
sniper
can drop
bullets.
sniper bullets. No, not those ones. There you go.
I know, but I was just pretending.
Hopeful.
Yeah.
I'll look over here.
I was just being silly and goofy.
Just in a silly, goofy mood.
Yep, just in a silly, goofy mood.
They have more sniper bullets for you too.
Thank you, brother.
Do you still need LMG?
No,
Okay.
I did that.
Oh, there's someone up here. Hello, good sir. Or madam. Ooh, that was a bad shot.
How the fuck is there no... Ah!
What?
This is so upsetting.
I have a lot of sniper ammo now.
Just want a fucking repair torch.
Oh, storm's coming in. Fuck.
I know, but I want a repair torch.
I'm really getting
Is it a
stuck on
bounty?
this. Okay.
It's my alternative to getting a repair torches. Hit me with your car.
There was one person over here that was on the
Whoa.
zip line. Hopefully that doesn't hurt you.
Nope.
That was a
That
quick
was
way to
actually
get down
useful
then.
because- Yep, that's what I was about to say. Thanks, Bay.
No problem. Oh, let's go here.
Oh, ascender. I need to use an ascender.
Yeah, we need to damage people
I
within
know.
30 seconds.
I know.
I'm gonna go try and get some dailies done.
I'm going to fish.
Okay.
Oh, look what I fished.
Which fish? Oh,
It's a
nice.
purple sniper.
Wow, you're so cool.
Oh, I
I forgot Nick was in here.
Oh no, I took my headphones off. I
Oh.
was-
Oh my god,
Someone's here.
totally forgot that Nick was here. I was like, who the f is that? Shield fish. Nick, you could never.
Oh my god, that was a
Flare
terrible
fish.
shot.
Nick, you could never.
you might want to
I'm dead.
help him.
Oh,
Never mind, he's fine.
I clutched. I gotta get to you though. I'm on 2 health.
Okay, I have med mist.
Good. They
Come
might be
to me.
following me, by the way.
Into this bush.
Oh, they are. Shit.
It wasn't
Where the
close at
fuck
all.
are you?
I'm hiding in this.
Okay, I'm coming to you.
They might be flying in, by the way. It's a prowler.
You have health?
I have bandages. Thanks.
There's. Let me fish.
Actually, I might as well just keep going.
There, shieldfish.
Okay, I can't get out.
Okay. Those are all the fish I can offer you now.
It's fine.
Here.
That's plenty.
There's another
Why are
shieldfish.
there so many puddles around?
There's always 2
I
here.
fished.
We probably gotta move.
There's
No, it's
another
not too far.
shieldfish over here.
I have
Okay,
2 guns. I
shimmer.
still haven't found a single SMG. Oh, hey, these are one-time use.
What's one-time use?
The ascenders,
What?
they're like 1 person at a time. You have to wait for it to
Oh.
come back down.
I thought you were gonna say like it only we can leave it once, then it
No, no,
never
no.
works again. I was like, that's an odd.
Oh, Nat's in the chat.
Why can't you talk?
What? She's in like my Twitch chat, not like
Oh.
the party.
Is she gonna play?
I don't know, Nat, are you gonna play? Next storm. Okay, I know where next storm is.
Oh yeah, Nick, we will come get you as soon as we finish this game.
Next storm is like down here. So,
I have
I'll
to go
go-
dry off
whoa.
Gray.
you okay?
Yeah.
We're not close to one another. I just want an SMG, please. I literally don't think I've found one.
I have an SMG.
Yeah, but that's yours.
Do you want it?
Someone over here. There's multiple people over here. SMG, please. Oh, thank God.
That was lucky.
Yeah, literally the last chest in here. Alright, I'm out.
There's somebody over here. Where are they?
You at the gas station?
Yeah.
Okay. You should try and stay near the gas station.
Oh, I was coming towards you.
No, I'm coming
I was
towards
coming
you.
towards where you marked. Oh, stay
Oh,
at the
oh.
gas station.
No, that was just a general mark where the circle is gonna be. Our bounty's crossing this river right now.
There's cars somewhere.
Bless you.
Where is somebody hitting me? Oh, over this way.
Are they hitting you?
No.
Okay. Nice job.
Ah,
Sorry.
I need to deal damage with a
There's a
repair
purple
torch
if
to a person. I have one.
Oh, I guess I'll take the...
Do you have any extra SMG bullets that I can have?
Yes. Yes, definitely.
I have 100, so I'll take anything. I don't need them, but I'll take extra.
There you go.
Thanks. Whoa.
I had 400.
222.
Oh, nice.
Only 22. Can I blow up the gas station?
Sure. Jeez.
Nice.
Someone's flying. Oh, for some reason I thought the truck was being driven by someone. Where are you? Oh, you're here.
I'm just over at the other.
Oh, they're
building.
shooting at the truck. They also thought someone was driving it. Watch out
Was
for
there
this
somebody
tank.
in the truck?
No,
I'm
it
confused.
was bounced because shit. They saw me. It was bounced because they saw. Ah, damn it. Or an attack.
Oh. I see that.
All right, we gotta go. Get in a car or
Okay.
something.
Going.
They're focusing on me, so you just run.
I am running.
Just want to get
I'm
over this
sliding.
hill, please. Oh no, they're actually after you.
walk away to the truck. You're dead.
I don't know why that was the gun I had grabbed.
Damn.
Oopsies.
Really no going up against a tank when you're
Ooh,
when you don't have it.
lobby.
It's annoying.
I know, I need to airstrike a tank.
Oh, Nat is gonna be playing. She has to find headphones first.
Oh,
How on earth did you get to
She's in lobby.
203?
Just good at the game. No, I just do quests.
he doesn't have a life.
Oh.
I mean, like
don't
most
either.
of. Nice.
Yeah, but I was in school for a bit, so.
Well,
I mean,
you
you're
literally
you're
got
at
out of school.
150.
You were level 101 or something.
That's
And
true.
now you're level 150.
I've been busy these past few days.
Clearly.
Dude, you're 138.
Yeah, that's nowhere. I still haven't even. I just maxed out my Omni sword.
Hmm.
I'm on page 2 of the bonus rewards.
See, you also don't have. I just finished all my
Okay.
Omni chip things.
That last one's cool.
Which one?
The laser. Or not the laser. The crimson. Is that what it's called? The color?
Crimson
sure.
is a color, yes.
Crimson is a color, yeah.
No, like one of the.
Yeah, I think so. Oops.
Okay, I'm so sorry.
From what? Boxing?
Stop!
I did some
Fishes.
Pilates today.
Oh.
Tomorrow I have boxing again.
Where are we going?
Oh, well,
To
then I
a
have to
repair
meet
torch.
bench room.
What'd you say?
A repair torch.
I need a repair torch also.
No, but I need it more though.
Okay, we can just take turns using it.
Can
we go to Synapse or Chonkers?
Sure, let's go Synapse.
Like that. Piper, you understand Spanish, right? I'm gonna send you something really funny that my mom sent me. It's about the Super Amigues.
Okay.
I don't understand how Piper is higher level than me, but she hasn't completed all the quests that I have.
Probably creative death runs, and then just playing more.
No, because I had the Magnite ones.
Oh, that too. That was an extra 28 levels.
You did what?
There's a bundle that gives you a skin and also gives you like 28 levels. Everything you collect is like 1 level.
Wait, where are we going?
Es lo más importante hoy en día. Superman, si está ocurriendo una emergencia, tal vez deberíamos. Lo más importante es ver que seamos inclusivos. Necesito cerciorarme de que tengamos al menos una persona de color y una mujer en nuestro equipo. Aquí estoy, Superman. Yo soy una persona de color. Muy bien, Cyborg, tú liderarás la misión porque eres una persona de color, ¿ok? Yo creo que el más capacitado para liderar este equipo eres tú, Superman. Sí, pero yo no soy una persona de color. ¿Eso qué tiene que ver? Sería racista liderar esta misión porque no soy una persona de color. Pero ¿qué tiene que ver el color de tu piel? Eres un gran líder y el más poderoso de todos nosotros. Todos nosotros.
We got another squad on us.
Lo que importa es que ahora tiene que liderar una persona de color. Se llama
Oh, I also need to use a railgun and a recon scanner, so because I'm like kind of behind on quests.
Además tienes poderes. Claro que tengo poderes. ¿Por qué crees que soy un super amigo si no? Pues porque eres una persona de color. ¿De verdad estás diciendo que
And I should also
aquí porque soy una persona
read it
de
just when
color?
it's
Sí,
time.
y como bien dije, necesito certificar que también haya
Mindset.
una mujer entre nosotros. Oh, ahí veo que está la mujer maravilla. Así es, Superman. Aquí estoy, lista para una nueva misión. Fantástico. Ahora más nos vale
There's someone here.
porque... Un momento, ¿por qué asumiste
Pepper, is it?
Where? I don't really know.
I knocked
Yeah,
him.
yourself.
Your thingy is really loud.
Mine?
I don't know. No, Piper, I think. Oh, there's another one?
Físicamente se ve como una mujer. Verse como
Okay.
una mujer no tiene nada que ver con ser una mujer. Las ciencias biológicas atrasan 10.000 años.
I have a
Sí,
repair torch
deberíamos
for
quemar
someone.
los libros
First
de
come, first
biología
serve.
para que la humanidad avance. Está bien, yo me autopercibo
Also
como
big here
una
if someone
mujer,
wants
así
it.
que no me sentí oprimida por su
Oh my god.
rápido, persona gestante maravillera. ¿Cómo sabes
Little
que
help,
eres
maybe?
una mujer
Yeah.
realmente? Bueno, es que yo me identifico socialmente como una mujer
Just
Oh,
kidding.
you took care of it.
rol de género ante la sociedad. Persona gestante maravillera, tu autopercepción está absolutamente condicionada por el sistema en el que has sido criada, el sexo biológico que te ha sido asignado, lo que has aprendido de tu familia,
I'm being targeted.
amistades y entorno, y los conceptos
Yes,
que
you
has
are.
incorporado
Can you
siempre
please turn
If
that off?
anybody has a railgun, can I have it? Unless anybody has railgun quest, then you can have it.
I
I
have
think
one.
we all.
There's a thermal here. I'm ready to rift.
It's very loud and very annoying.
There's a stinger here. If anybody wants a stinger.
Take it. Here's a railgun.
Ooh, nice. Piper, if you want grenades, there are grenades.
I do not want grenades.
Do you want the battle bus or do we want to rift?
Probably rift.
I'm gonna grab the battle bus really quickly. So I
There's
can destroy
another.
things.
There's another repair torch here.
Ooh, I need that.
Go for it.
Or Ben, can you carry minis? Can someone carry minis?
I'm carrying splashes.
There's more minis here if you just want
If
to
we
carry
see
a
an
stack.
air strike, I need one.
Still?
Yeah,
I
You're
have
not
an
in the
air
tank
strike
one?
with a tank.
Tank over
Yeah.
here.
Where is the oh, it's over here.
Or I'll just drop a. There's a bunch of blue stingers. I'll just carry 6 minis.
No.
I kind of want to rift on the tank people.
It's
I
just gonna
think it's
be
just
NPCs.
AI.
Yeah.
Yeah, actually, wait, Nick makes a good point.
Yeah, I make a good point, not Ben.
I wanted to be my
Anybody
best
see turret? Where do turrets?
He's doing the quest
Wait,
that
I
I
have to
literally
go
just
to-
did.
Yeah. I
That's
mean,
so
you guys
funny.
are all.
I'm gonna go to Rocky to do my quest.
Oh, I think there might be turrets at Rocky. Let's go Rocky then. I'll pick up a bounty.
Alright, you heard him, Piper. Let's go, Rocky.
Hold on. I want to grab a bounty first.
Oh, I also have to go
Bounty tip.
there.
And
Oh,
some
God.
bullets and things that I...
Ben, grab the bounty first.
I already did.
And you let the
There's
Bus
also
run
another
away.
battle bus there. Oh,
I mean, take my bag. Hold on.
there's also
You guys
people
aren't even
here.
here anymore.
I'm not gonna be
Come
very
on,
good at.
babe, to the butter barn. Okay, I'm coming.
I'm not very good at parking.
I need help. I'm dead.
I'm coming.
I'm gonna speak some
There's shots over there. There's people over here.
Bro, I hate the railgun.
I
I'll
see
help you guys
people.
first.
Guys, I also see people. There's a whole squad here. Oh, you guys
I'm
are
in.
far away.
Knocked one.
Oh well.
What? Oh my god.
Knocked one.
I
Nice.
knocked one.
One left.
Oh, I found the other.
Nice. Okay.
Know where I
You're
got it.
getting that.
Oh.
And you whacked me really far. Wait, I needed to damage an opponent with, fuck. Somebody go get Natalie.
Yeah, we need to.
Going. There's no gas in here. So
Well,
one of you can go fill that up. I'm
Yeah.
coming.
Injured, right?
What? There's people in there.
Yeah. Just don't let it happen.
And there's a medkit behind us.
Okay, that's good.
I'll throw this medkit in your general direction.
Okay, you know what? I'm in a more comfortable spot.
Come on, though.
Did I throw the medkits far enough?
Yeah, I
No.
think you did.
Yeah, you're good. Thank you.
You ever threw those recon
Does anyone want
scans?
a gold Mark 7, by the way? I really don't want it.
Well, I hope.
Yet another
Anybody
repair
see any
torch, harpoon gun.
turrets?
No. Well, you can use the battle. Oh no. Wait, what quest do you have? Why do you need the turret?
Use
I
to
have to-
repair it and damage
Yeah.
vehicles.
I
Here's
think I
a
already did the damage vehicles.
there's a gold Mark 7 for someone.
Would you have
Also
a
another
life
railgun here.
wanting to be a man back then?
Mark 7.
Piper.
Give me a turret. Give me
Hi,
a
this is
turret.
Piper.
Guys, that's
She's on a
Piper.
call.
You
Wait,
have to
really?
get
Turret right here.
lately.
Oh, there's airstrike for Piper.
Yeah, carry it for Piper. Piper's
Oh,
on the phone right
God.
now.
I can't. I don't have any hands.
What?
Ow,
You can-
mute her.
I
Mute her,
did.
Ben.
I just died to fall damage.
How?
Because I forgot what my like use bind was, and
Shit.
so I hit the wrong button when trying to get on the ascender, and so I ended up falling
Where'd
falling off the cliff. Stop the beeping.
Oh,
What?
how did
How did I die?
I don't know.
I'm asking the same question.
Okay, well, I guess we'll reboot her.
Is that me
Okay.
beeping or
That's Piper.
No, it's Piper. We muted her.
oh okay? How did I die?
I don't know, you just kind of died.
Why did you pick up the? Why did you pick up the purple thing?
Why did I?
It's a combat. It sucks.
Oh,
It's a
Piper.
stinger.
Or Nick did.
Piper, when you're
Yeah, it's a...
done... Oh, okay. I'm assuming that's... Hello? Nope, nope, no, 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 nope, no, no,
I'm
no,
watching
no.
Piper. I'll come for you. Ben, keep running.
Okay. Piper,
There's
when you're done
people.
with the call and you're plugged back in, just, like, ping a ton or something.
I lied. It doesn't work. Hi, Piper.
She's back?
Was
Is she
that a
back?
lot of pings? Probably.
Yeah. Hello? No, you've been beeping at us.
Yeah,
the
okay,
whole
so
time.
Nick, I'm watching the clip. I'm so confused.
Yeah, you were just kind of, like, sitting there. And you were, like, rubber banding a little bit, and then you died.
Yeah, no, I think I picked her up, but I didn't register that I picked her up.
No, because because it shows that Nick picked me up. I'm looking at GeForce Experience highlights. Nick picked me up. I'm invisible. Nick's walking around, and then I get in storm. I tick down, and then I just die.
What in the
No,
world?
because I couldn't see you. You were glitched through the floor. It looked like you were on the.
Oh, that's
I
great.
did see that,
You were
too.
Inside the floor.
Yay, woo, go Fortnite mechanics.
Piper, are you here or are you still muted?
Yeah. Have you unmuted
Oh, okay.
me?
Yeah, I
Can you
did.
hear me?
I just did.
Jesus
Well, I
Christ.
didn't just.
I have been literally. I hung
Screaming.
up on the phone call and I was still unmuted,
Oh, well,
and you all chose to ignore that.
well, no, because...
No, cause it was beeping. You didn't
yeah,
connect
it was
your
like,
microphone.
there was feedback or something. Maybe it wasn't plugged in properly. Oh, why have we not rebooted her? Oh, how far is Storm? That's
why.
why.
Y'all over there?
We'll go here.
Piper, why didn't you do your quest?
Piper, also,
quest?
why didn't you eat
Alright, never mind.
the things that I
You did it.
marked?
Ascender opponent. Does anybody have a light machine gun?
Anyone want a purple auto?
No, a light
Um,
machine gun.
So, a purple auto.
Yep. Yeah.
Yep.
Where is it? Is it in the house?
What's rude, Nat? Yeah, it is.
I just killed a purple chicken with a
Oh, there's
Nice.
a purple auto.
What was in it?
Wait, what?
purple combat SMG and some meat.
Terrible.
3 pieces of meat.
There's also a drop right near there. So we should try and secure that area. Wish you had better guns.
I wish I could
That
get
mark...
out of storm.
It's crazy we didn't...
There's a
Yeah.
turret over here. Nick, do you still need to repair a turret?
No, I did that.
Okay, never mind.
Piper, you're
I was
walking
so
into
far
fire.
away from-
I will just sit here.
Or they're on top of the hill. They are on top of the hill.
Ooh, you had meat.
I knocked one. I only took 98 ticks. I mean, 2 ticks.
That's really annoying. I have about no health. Do you have any heals, Piper?
I have an airstrike. And
Oh,
med
I need an
mist.
airstrike.
Piper, there are people.
Ben has a purple striker on him.
Yeah,
He
oh
slid
yeah.
down the mountain.
Should I try and...
There's another one.
I'm gonna try and stick the reboot. I trust you guys. Oh, I'm getting wrecked. Okay, I'm stuck on stuff. Actually, let's go.
Wait, no, don't kill this one. Don't kill
Jesus
this one.
Christ, I'm getting shot from both
Ben's
ends. We gotta
dying.
get out of
This is
here.
great.
Jesus Christ. Piper, use a launcher. Go this way.
There's people
there's
with
so
a
many
ray
people
gun
here.
all the way up.
Ben's
Ow.
like, Ben's
I'm-
gonna die, bro.
Yeah, I'm just in a... Oh my god. There's so many people.
Oh, bro. I'm getting shot at like
A missile
18
incoming?
angles.
Oh my god.
This is great.
Alright. I'm gonna try and stick this one, I guess. Oh, there's people down here too.
We've all found
That was
me.
terrible.
They
I
all
hope
found
you guys
me
are
too.
having a good time.
Bro, I can't hit a shot.
Oh my god. There are
One
so
pop
many
in.
people here. I think I literally think I drove around every single person in the lobby.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure you did.
There's so many people.
That was crazy.
I saw Ben getting shot at, and then he got too far.
Guys,
and
you
they
can
all
blame
turned
this
and
match
fought
on me. You can also blame it on the game because I
Yeah.
fell through the map.
Die.
They're rebooting here.
Aim better. Bro, how's
this
he
guy
not
has-
dead yet?
The guy has
How did
2
you
health.
not kill him?
The guy has 7 health.
Carrying beta, stop the cap.
So many shots.
The guy had 7 health. How?
You just whiffed. Piper, can I give you a song request?
Mm-hmm.
It's "Understand" by Boy with You.
Can I give you another song request? Toxic by Boy With You.
Can I give you another
Yeah.
song request?
Mm-hmm.
Toxic by Britney Spears.
That's
No.
kind of toxic, not gonna lie, Ben.
Nick, so you're telling me you actually listen to Boy with You? That's amazing.
I'm telling you, that song came on my For You page.
What song is it at?
How are these
Bro,
people not?
this guy I'm
Jeez.
spectating
Yeah.
just ran the whole way around the reboot van
What was that?
Yeah, I saw
before
that.
seeing the person.
His other friend
I
was
saw
like
that.
blasting him at point blank range, and they didn't hit him.
Now, what's the name of the song again?
Understand
Toxic
by
by
Boy
Boy
with You.
With You.
Toxic?
I'm gonna go listen.
And understand.
Boy.
There's another song called World's Smallest.
What was the one Nat
Violent.
initially said?
Understand.
Understand.
Toxic.
Boy.
Toxic is the
With
more
You.
famous one.
Hold on, I'm gonna go listen to Nick's suggestion. Oh,
there's not a
yeah,
lot of
I know
these.
this one.
Yeah, told you.
Where are we going?
I haven't loaded
let's
in yet.
go.
Well, then hurry up.
You
Let's
guys
go
already in?
somewhere.
Yeah.
I'm still looking for a match.
Oh wait, I didn't
Jesus
do the.
Christ.
Now it did it again.
Bro, okay.
Lobby.
I can go here.
Can we go to the same place? Snapsies.
I'm going to lobby.
I wasn't in the match.
Oh.
I don't know why.
Keeps
Nick, you
doing
didn't
that.
do your quest.
No, I'm at 296 somehow.
Okay. Now you gotta leave the game.
What? Oh.
Yeah.
Wait, why did everybody leave?
Because I wasn't put into the match.
Because Piper is messing things up.
Ugh.
Nick, I like my song more.
Like your what?
I like my song more. The other
Can I
one's too
ask?
slow.
What skin should I do?
You should be the green guy.
I was just looking at that.
Wow.
I remember when we all had like one skin and we were opening just like that one skin.
It was a Snowmando.
Way long ago.
I don't think
We all
I
have
have
the
it.
defaults.
Chapter 2, Season
Natalie
3.
was that gold girl.
Gold girl? Oh, yeah.
We
Well, the one
all
she
have
always is.
current battle pass skins, I think.
We do, yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Including your
Nick,
father.
Did Dad get you the battle pass?
No,
Did Dad
Dad.
get the battle pass this year? I mean, this season?
Yeah, Piper, he
he-
did with
Dad
us.
bought it. Dad's like level 90 something
Yesterday.
and they bought the battle pass and he was so happy because he made V-Buck profit.
Piper, you were in the call for that
I
yesterday.
was in the call.
Yeah, you
yesterday.
literally walked him through how to buy it. Can we go to Snapsies again?
Yeah.
I'm so sorry.
Actually, wait, no. Let's go to
Are you
Okay,
still looking
well,
for the...
I have to go
Tilted.
here and
Let's,
here.
Tilted!
Nick, that's
Tilted.
neither of those places I need to go.
no,
I'm gonna
that's
go
pretty much
Tilted.
close enough.
I'm
I'm
going
gonna go
there.
die in Tilted.
I'm going
Yeah.
to yellow.
I mean, it's
okay?
not tilted
Alright.
anymore.
What do you mean?
It's not like, you know, super dangerous area that everyone goes to anymore. It's just
Yeah.
a war zone.
Didn't die because it's.
It's just
I need an
Tilted.
airstrike.
The new super dangerous area is Coney, actually,
Yeah,
Is what?
or command,
or Command.
but for different reasons.
Command, well, it depends on the drop.
Wait, where are the new dangerous places? Did you say?
Coney?
Coney, Crossroads, and
Mm.
Command.
Remember the other day I got like 10 kills there just on my own because everyone was landing near me?
You understand, I wanted to hold your
Shut
So
up,
far, I
Nat.
have found no gun, but a recon scanner.
Oh, that's good.
That actually worked. Nope. Now she's whistling. We have to hit people from 30 meters. How far away is 30 meters?
Somewhere between
it like
40
30
and 20
meters away?
Yeah, something like that.
Oh, okay, got it.
Where is this? Oh, there we go. Are we all okay? I'm hearing a lot of shots.
Yeah, I was just killing.
I hit
someone.
somebody.
I thought it was one of our teammates, so I wasn't shooting.
Hit
at them.
somebody
I was
else.
Like, wait a second, it's not us.
You're not nice.
Where
You're
is
shooting at.
somebody shooting at me from?
You know, 30 meters is actually pretty close.
It is.
Oh, I might die.
Okay, I'm coming.
I am dead.
Do I actually have to...
I'm level 40 now.
Piper, come over here.
You
Yeah,
guys are
my-
capable of doing your quest
Oh,
alone, right?
man.
Yeah, I mean, I don't have any quests. I'm
Oh,
just
there's a person here.
basically
There's a
whenever...
Ben's just our bodyguard.
Yeah, I'm just an escort. I'm just an armed escort.
You
I
are
took a
just an
great
escort,
fall.
Ben.
That was just great.
Like me?
That was
Okay,
no.
Nick, that
I
makes two of us.
knocked myself and then I took a great fall.
Oh, hold on, stop.
No, I have
Stop.
two bigs.
Okay.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
No, you're fine. A lot of shots over here. Oh, there's another big, so there we go.
Can
And an
somebody,
SMG, perfect.
Oh,
Okay.
I'm ready
can
to
somebody
kill
grab my
people.
reboot card?
Yeah.
Maybe.
Oh, I didn't even know
In the middle
Nick
of
was
tilting?
dead. Yeah, he is.
Yeah.
You go get him, I'll take care of these people.
Yeah.
Rogue
Don't
gun
even
here.
care about me.
Oh wait.
Didn't even notice I died.
No, I was just trying to save other people. Piper, you okay?
Yes, I will go get him.
Piper killed him.
Ooh, you're shooting
job,
at me now.
Piper. Don't worry.
Now I
They're
go.
not that good.
This
Other
guy
way.
ju-
They're
this guy
behind you.
just shot, just like,
Everywhere.
is covering fire. Why are you running, bro? Not the brightest.
Nope. Ew.
Purple sniper here. Someone wants it.
Oopsies.
What are you doing? That is about to die.
That didn't really
Help.
help me. I'm coming.
How? What? Oh, those are the same people who killed me.
Conveniently, our cards are near each other, so
Mhm. Oh, come on.
How's that not?
I don't know.
Okay, well,
Okay, okay. Well,
apparently my quest will have to wait.
Oh,
This is
jeez.
great.
Yeah, there's a whole squad.
I whiffed
The
one
one
shot.
squad wiped us.
Nat, finish your quests, and then
Yeah.
No, please.
Damn it.
I don't really know what my quest is anyways.
alright, then just die.
No, I couldn't rescue mission.
You're not saving
not gonna
anybody.
tell
I have to scam people with a recon.
You have to
I'll
scan like
do different
100 people.
quests.
No, it's like 5 people.
Oh, the other stages are 100. I'm at 3 of 3, and I have 32 of 100.
I don't
Why don't
have a
I?
quest
How do you
that's
get in?
scan.
How do you? How do you get a new one?
Is it a milestone?
Oh, mark people.
No,
Yeah.
it's
No, it's kind of. It's like a milestone, but it's under the Raycon quest. Because you have stages.
Railgun quests?
yeah.
I'm on stage.
Can someone read
2.
off the stage 2 of Railgun Quest if you have it?
Yeah, you just have to
Which
scan.
one?
Only the recon one.
Oh,
Oh,
I don't know
I
how
don't
much.
You
have
just have to
stage
scan
2.
11 out of 25.
Oh, I do.
Okay, so
yeah,
25.
25. I have 5 out of 25. I didn't know that was a quest. I totally forgot about all these quests that I needed to do.
Yeah, it's some
I-
significant
those
XP
are so
for 'em.
annoying. Yeah, but they're just annoying.
Yeah.
Because like the Raycon gun is so bad.
Are you saying the recon? It sounds like you're saying like Raycon.
Raycon
Yeah,
wireless
like, you
earbuds.
know, like, yeah, I was gonna say like the bud. I'll watch.
Yes, squad. Natalie, go squad. Hashtag slay.
Really had to do that because you couldn't see the guy. And you're not dead.
Of course she's not dead. She's Natalie.
No, she's dead.
I shotgun
kidding.
didn't shoot!
Sure, that's what they all say. It's because you're using a thingamajig, not a thingamajig. Got
Except
it.
I waited. I waited for it to do the clicky thing.
Alright, so hear me out. We land tilted again.
No.
You've convinced me.
Why?
No, let's go home.
Because I
Let's
need
go home,
to
Natalie,
do
with
the
the quest.
quest with the turrets.
Oh, well, there's plenty of other turret locations. Turrets at Dailies,
Oh my
turrets
God.
at Condo, Rocky.
Yeah, but
Command.
Dude,
Alright,
be
let's go-
less bad, Nicholas. It's not that
go
hard.
daily
Christ.
then.
What? There's so many noises.
I have to search chests and ammo boxes at IO Outpost.
Yeah, Piper really sneezes
I also
loud.
have to go
I
to
was
2 other
hiccuping.
places.
Those were just really aggressive hiccups.
Oh, those were hiccups?
Yeah.
You should go
I
to the
have to
doctor.
go. Hold up. Coney, Condo,
Or what'd you order for dinner?
an IO
Um,
Outpost, Command Cavern,
I
or
got-
the battle location.
Mac and cheese from Chick-fil-A, and that was it.
Get airtime in
Just
the
like a side.
tank.
That's hard.
That's not that hard.
Okay,
Mantle
never mind,
5
not that
times
hard.
in 5 seconds. Throw cabbage
hard.
100 or more meters in one toss.
You have all the
Destroy
difficult
structures
ones.
with the cow catcher.
Oh,
Disable a tank by damaging the engine. Visit 5 different NIM locations. Detonate remote explosives while that's
Oh,
easy.
come on, bro. Why
You
did
can
I... Okay,
refuel a repair
maybe
torch at a
not
gas
go there.
pump.
We're not going
Oh,
there.
I also have to
Where are we
fly
going?
in a
Shut up,
chopper.
Nat.
Condo.
Where are we going?
There's turrets at Condo too.
There is?
Yeah.
Boop, boop, boop.
Oh, yeah, there's,
Can we
like,
go
the ground
fish? I'm gonna go fish.
Okay.
It's not like the real turrets, though.
Go fish.
Yeah, but the ground turrets count.
I know, because that's what I used to get 296 of my 300.
There's also
I
a
do
battle
like
bus
all
here,
of
so you can do
them.
the cow catcher thing real easy. Nah.
I did.
And anyone who needs to do the damaged vehicles with turrets.
Not me. I need to use an ascender.
And then damage someone, yeah, so do I.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I might just, like, take a stroll. Is there a chopper? No.
No, not here. There's one further
I have
south.
to take a battle bus to cover.
Oh,
command.
you know why? Okay, you know why I don't land, Condo?
Why?
Because
Why?
every time I land here and I try to do that quest, I literally have never found a single repair torch.
Really?
I landed here like 5 times in a row. Never found a repair torch.
We shall see. We need a remote explosives.
Yeah, you have to like detonate them while sliding.
I have some for someone.
I
Yeah.
mean, that's not hard though. You just throw them and then you
No,
slide
that's
and
what I
you
was
hit the
thinking.
button.
You have to
Hard to
do
get
it
over.
3 different times. Don't like place you down and then do it. You have to like.
Yeah, you have to do it twice.
I thought it was
Railguns
3
over
times.
here. I have remote explosives if someone needs them. Just let me know who. So, oh.
Come on, this better have a. Nope.
Did you go to the
Still
gas
no
station?
repair torch. Wait, did you got a repair torch?
Hmm? No, not me. I'm just
I
asking
have
if
to
you.
talk to another guy. At Coney, so we have to go there next time.
I have a
Another
repair
guy
torch.
coming?
Here. Nick? Where are
What?
you?
Oh, repair torch. I'm
Where are you?
coming.
Oh, wait. You're pink, aren't you?
I am. No,
Oh,
I'm
no,
There's
you're
blue.
two
blue. You're
minis
blue.
here.
Okay. Wait, where's
You're
Piper?
pink.
I'm pink.
I'm fishing.
Guys,
Oh, you're
Nobody
over
asked.
there.
What net?
Where's the turret? Oh, I found it.
Do we
Wait, no,
have
that's
problems?
not it. Where's
Oh,
the
we.
turret?
Oh, it's on the other side. Oh, it's like all
Oh,
the way
I
over
found
there.
it. Never mind. I got
Oh,
it.
okay.
It's right here.
I
was
gotta go
hiding
help
from me.
Nat.
No, I mean you don't have to.
I'll go help her.
I am.
Wait,
Appreciate me.
do the stupid guards count as enemies?
Come on.
For
By using a sender and then just kill them.
no, I don't think. I think it says opponent, doesn't it?
Also, nobody kill the knocked people.
I mean,
Okay.
Oh, come on!
I don't know what you expected.
Why?
Someone want
does
that?
anybody need a shield keg?
All of
You
us.
need that Piper. There's a repair torch right there. I don't know if you need it.
I'm literally so far away from you guys.
Oh.
Yeah, she's.
Sorry, that was Natalie, not Piper.
Oh, here's remote explosives for someone.
Oh,
Natalie.
nice.
Name, location, ascender, light machine gun. Anybody see a light machine gun
Nope.
anywhere?
Right here.
Oh, yeah. You are good at
Fireflies.
finding things.
Yeah, it's just like literally right when I saw
Nope,
it.
it didn't work. Oh yeah, it did work.
And
Except
the
I need
people
more
count-
because I'm not smart and I accidentally messed it up the first time.
You're so
Pollinate.
smart, Natalie.
that count
Plenty of
as
minis
this.
here, so I was carrying minis.
11.
Oh,
No, it
next
does
to that.
not. Alright, what do I have to do? Ascender. At 5 locations.
Come on, there we go.
Piper, do you want me to pick you up?
More
far are you?
shots in town.
More people?
Yep.
Oh, people?
There we go.
Yeah, people. Let's go kill them.
People also rebooted, or was that you rifting?
No, that was all the way on the other side of the world.
Oh,
Reboot.
okay. And I'm out of
I
sprint.
accidentally shot my rail gun.
I think they're gonna be farther over here in this building.
Don't kill the knocked.
Where's the people?
I don't know.
And try not to kill one person. So they stay knocked.
Where did they
They're over
go?
here.
I don't know.
Not in there.
Maybe they ran just west.
They just disappeared.
Yeah, they really did. Maybe they DC'd. They were like, oh shit, I've been seen. Disconnected. Thermal AR here, someone wants it.
Not in there.
I still need, if anybody
Oh,
has
I found them! On me.
One person.
Ben, we gotta go to Nick.
Yeah, I know, I'm going.
They're running
Which way?
that way.
Oh, one's over here.
Oh my god,
go
did I
for-
just mark that
Oh, come on.
1,000? Oh, no, that's somebody.
Where, Nick?
One's on
it's
us. Oh, come on.
Yeah,
I
on
wasn't
you
reloaded. Oh my god. Okay, I might get knocked here. Okay, this one's real low.
I found it.
Behind. Oh no. It's you guys. Can someone pick me up? 8, 6, 4, 2. Oh, thank god.
I got you on 2. Alright, nobody kill that guy, please.
Yes.
I need to
Why?
go find. I need to go find a thingy-majig thing.
A railgun?
Yep.
Yeah, can somebody like? Wait,
Can I shoot him in the head with mine?
no. I need to
And
find.
then you can have the next one?
I need to find a
Nick, he's gonna die.
repair torch. Aww. Oh, there's
You need
another
a
guy right
repair
here.
torch?
There's a guy on me again.
Yeah, I'm just like, we'll kill the next guy.
Ah,
and you can-
crap. So
What'd
there's
you
a
do?
problem.
What?
I kind of hit the. Oh, bro! I hit the thingy. I hit the people.
Bruh, did you do your quest or not?
No! Oh my God, you guys. I said I hit the people.
Oh, the IO guards. I mean the 7 guards.
Oof, tough, man.
How was I supposed to do my quest
Nice.
when the guy died?
Railgun is so broken.
Yeah, it's so broken. It's so bad.
Is that someone else near us? Yep. Nice.
No, I can't even do my
I need
quest.
help. I need help. This is awkward.
Oh, come
So
on.
the iron road guards may or may not be mad at us, and
Yeah.
so that's
Already
what's
said
happening.
Okay.
that.
I'm gonna come to you guys.
Also, they're not IO guards, you idiot.
The good people,
Okay.
guards,
Yeah,
might be
damn it.
mad
They're
at
the
us.
good
With
people.
you.
I may have hit
It's
them
just
with
them
my
left,
truck.
I think. Maybe
Yeah.
there's one more. Yeah, there's one more of the normal guys. This is the guy right here, by the way.
I think she died.
Ben, can you ping a reboot station?
I can't because they're not picked up.
Oh, that's right.
There's one on us.
Oh, I see the guy. I see the guy. I see the guy.
I'm running.
Nice.
Oh my God, how is he not dead? Bro, just died.
I hired Jonesy and I are on the way.
Nice.
You should-
Got him.
Can
That's all of
you
them, right?
Get my thingy,
Yes.
please?
Let's go save Nick, you guys.
Yay! Come on, Jonesy.
Yay, that's not. Wait, did we kill all the IO guards then?
Yeah.
Alright,
Sorry.
can't do no more damage to opponent.
Nat, there's a flopper right there. I'm gonna go reboot him.
There's a bunch of ammo and stuff over here. There's a purple drummy.
How about like you leave all that stuff, eh? Okay, that didn't work.
Ben, that was an incentive for you to take it.
I
That was
didn't
me
mean- I
dropping
didn't-
the stuff for Nick.
I did not mean to. I just ran through you.
Okay,
You-
so you can
I'll just drop you some more.
drop Nick.
No, don't drop me.
Oh, there's another person over here.
No, like drop him ammo and stuff. That's what I mean.
I think you should. Oh, he's right there.
Night-
Come
oh,
on, middle
hello.
reboot.
Can I?
You just
There
got
we go.
destroyed.
Did not.
Just no, reboot.
You
first.
got 29 health.
Okay, I'm bringing you guys
I have
floppers.
57. So
Yeah, but at least you have never mind. You don't have shield.
I'm
Oh,
bringing you
behind
field
us.
shield
Oh, you're dead.
kits
Jesus.
and sloppers.
So that worked out well.
It's not looking great. Oh,
Put him.
nice.
thank you.
Revive him, would you?
Oh, Nick's back. Okay.
Where did the other guy go?
I don't know. I'll revive him.
I'm getting speedy revives, bro.
Yeah.
Alright, I'll take some of this loot. Oh, never mind. What? Oh, wait. Maybe that was
There's a
mine.
I'm
mini for
coming
someone.
with health for everyone.
Thank you.
I
Since
think
you
we
keep
all
dying.
we all have that thingy. Alright.
Health?
It's a crow.
No.
No, we all have minis. Oh,
I need a medical kit.
Here, Natalie.
Oh, Piper's here. Nice.
Auto.
I'm
There's
just
also.
gonna
Oh,
stand
I'll
here
use this one.
because I don't know
No.
where you. Hi,
Yeah,
Pepper.
here.
There's a
Oh,
blue burst here,
welcome.
or around there if someone wants it.
Piper finally
Just double
decided
me.
to
Why am I
play.
doing this here?
Ben, eat some
Yeah.
I
of
only
this.
need 2, but thank you.
Give the others to Ben.
What do you? What? I'm good. I'm
I
gonna
threw
make
a
it.
flop. No. Oh, I just threw a flopper at you. Is what I did.
I'll
Hi,
take the
Piper.
flopper.
And there's a
Welcome.
flopper here.
Thank God, a better shotgun.
Um,
I've worked with
Let
a
me go
gray
get
this
it.
whole time.
Oh, and now I have this for you.
What is it?
Jeez, that was a mess.
Oh, nice.
Except for Nat.
I I literally
That's
haven't.
for whoever
been-
wants it, I suppose.
I'm supposed to be visiting locations and I haven't gotten out of stupid condo.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, zone's on top of us, so visit locations next time.
Anybody
Need a
see any
pistol.
There's a med station here. You can buy people bigs if they need.
are people poor?
I don't know. I don't know how many bars you have.
I'm in a car killing
Nick, here.
things.
I have 2,000.
Oh, there's people down there.
Where?
There are? Where?
No, I just
Oh,
said
sorry,
that.
I just hit you.
Just driving around.
That's fine.
Oh, we shot that guy before.
Everyone attack him with everything. We're like, let's all mark him 1,000,000 times.
Nice.
Nice.
That's other shots. Is a car over here?
I
Come on,
think they were
Jonesy.
trying to get his reboot card.
Nice. Okay, they're rinsed. Beautiful.
I
Oh,
think
right
he
on me.
blew up.
How did he just double
31.
jump? Nice.
I fell. Oh, it's okay.
Careful for storm, guys.
There's a battle bus here. How do I get out of here? I might have made a mistake here.
Okay then, Piper. You know what? I didn't want you. I didn't want to.
Were you trying to get in my car? Oh, I'm so sorry.
I was
Here.
standing right
Alex
there.
loves
You
Here's
you.
a
drove
I didn't
away.
even notice. So sorry.
I didn't even care. I didn't want to go
Aw.
with you.
I'm
I
gonna
love
go.
you. Yeah. It's like you guys don't hear me when I say storm.
Well, I was
What'd you
just in
say?
storm because I
Wait.
fell into that.
We have to
Canyon.
move because storm's close.
I hate you all.
Everybody's at full health.
Yes.
Actually, when I said that, that was a lie because Ben wasn't at full health.
Yeah, I was in the middle of healing. You choked.
Can I have sniper ammo?
I can drop 50.
Oh, are you shooting that guy? You missed.
Oh wait, hold on. Oh guys, there's someone going. So you know where we killed the guy? He's
Yeah.
going back. His friends are going back.
Oh, people over here.
How the fuck do I get down from here?
Get up this side.
Oh my god, I can't hit shots to save my
I
life.
got you, Ben.
Jesus Christ, what is with me? That was awful.
Oh, I wanted to use the ascender. Oh, come on, Natalie. Wait, was
What?
that you? No, that was Natalie. Natalie, you literally just kicked me off of the thingy.
So funny.
I was the only one there.
Jeez, I keep getting caught in storm. Alright, Piper,
Please
you're
tell
not
me
up
that's
here.
more than
are you?
100 meters.
No,
Nope.
I'm going to the drop.
Okay. Where's the drop?
Can,
Okay.
Drop is
can I have some sniper ammo?
We can do some Overwatch. Yeah, I have some.
Did that work?
Oh, I fell. I'm dead. I got caught in a crack. I swear to
Where?
God. Like directly below here. I just got like I got caught right there.
Oh, you're down there.
Yeah.
I'm coming.
Where's there an ascender? I'll go towards it.
Oh my god, finally. Okay. It was 99, but it's fine.
come on, drop,
I
drop,
can't
drop, drop.
believe you got caught in a crack.
Yeah.
How do I get down? Oh,
Ascender right
Ascender.
here.
I'm the ascender. I'm gonna not fall to fall damage.
Okay.
Wait,
Not
Oh.
does
Did
it
you
count
just
if you? Yeah, you deserved it, Nat. Does it count if
It's
you go
okay.
down
I
an
didn't take fall
ascender?
damage.
Yeah.
Yeah, you just need to
so.
use it. I need to heal.
Ben, I have chugs for you.
There's a battle bus.
I'm coming to you.
Yeah, no
we
need
need
to
to get
yell
to you
though.
guys.
Come
It's
down
over
this
here.
way.
I set my thingies way too high.
Oh yeah, there are people over there.
Come on, heal. Hurry up. 92, 94, 96, 98.
Oh, come
There we
on!
go.
I missed.
Right in time.
Hit someone? I say we probably blow up the battle bus, right?
That's probably the
Yeah.
goal.
Oh,
Oh,
God.
there we go.
They
that?
can blow up.
Sniper from over here.
I'm dead. They
Oh,
hit me with their car so hard
I don't
that
have
I flew up
anything
into the
yet for
air,
that range.
and my fall damage was irreversible.
That being said, I'm hitting shots.
Okay.
Ow.
Well,
that's That's what I'm saying. How'd they even?
I'm being
They're up
danced
on us, I
on.
think.
Wait,
I'm in a bush.
Can't see him. Ugh. I just gotta fire wildly. Damn it.
Crawl to storm, Ben.
Yeah, I'm trying. It's annoying.
I died.
where are they?
Ugh.
Bro, let me kill them.
There we go. I think it's a 1v4. Yep.
Nice.
It's a 1v3 actually.
Oh yeah, because he knocked that one.
Oh,
Oh,
it's only Natalie. Oh, Nick's alive. Wow. Okay, missed all of your shots. That's fine.
oh, thanks, Piper. Way to boost my confidence.
Oh my god. The husband of one of the teachers killed in Texas dies of a heart attack.
I know. I saw that.
Nice.
Not nice.
We love
Sad.
Fortnite. We love Fortnite. Hi, Nick. Excuse me.
Hey, don't you guys have to go to bed soon?
No, it's fine.
Don't have a good day. Have a great day.
Do you like want us gone?
No, I'm checking.
Alright. I need. What do I need? Ascender. Damage to opponents using Ascender.
Wait, I have to go
Location
to Coney, by the way.
It's gonna be hot.
You have to go to Coney. That is not gonna be. Wait.
Huh?
Oh yeah, I guess.
It's
it
right
is,
above
yeah.
the path.
No. I thought you meant condo.
Oh.
I can't read. I'm dyslexic.
We were talking.
Oh, good point. No, I was reading the names of the
Oh,
places.
oh. I think we have better drops than most people. Just gotta act quick.
People just suck.
Why am I not in a? This is waiting for party leader.
Oh,
Oh
damn
my
it.
god, Piper. How you gotta
What?
ruin everything?
I don't know what I'm. It says I'm returning to the lobby in 1
I'm
second.
Yeah,
kidding.
great.
I'm kidding.
I'm sorry.
It's okay.
Now, what did you need to
It's
do
fine.
here?
Why do you all hate me?
Oh, no, I left because Piper got bugged.
Yeah, we all, Piper, we care about you. We left because of you.
I haven't
Aw,
left yet.
Ben doesn't love you, Piper.
That's okay.
Just want to kill one person first.
He said that's okay. Why do you want to kill him?
There we
That
go.
way you're even. You die and somebody dies.
Gotta keep my KD intact.
Yep. Is that actually why?
No, I don't even know where I could find my KD. Only a tracker site.
Yeah. Why'd you want to kill somebody then?
For fun.
Wow. Oh wait, let me ready up.
Fortnite tracker.
Fortnite Battle Pass.
Enter my epic name. Alright, what's my KD? Oh, hold on. Oh, where was it? It says I've played 22 days, 11 hours. That is wholly false.
What do you mean?
What happened?
I've played a
you've
lot
played
more
less?
than that.
22 days.
Yeah, that's like, okay, hold on, let me open up Epic. This is just Epic alone, not
That's 528
Xbox.
hours.
Hold on. Just you wait. Epic Games.
Okay, where are we going?
Oh, not Microsoft Edge.
We're going Coney.
Ugh.
Okay. I
Okie
still need to
dokie.
do a.
You just like listen to everything I say.
Okie dokie.
We're trying to get back onto Spawn Island.
Nice.
So
Dude, that'd be
Yeah.
so cool.
I've
Nick, look
played
at this cool thing I got.
on
is that you?
PC.
Yeah.
I've played. Hold on.
Look at this
My
cool
knife.
thing I got. You have it too.
45 days, 14 hours, 2 minutes, 6 seconds.
Whoa! Look at this
On
cool
PC.
knife I got.
On Xbox.
Cool.
Look, and I
What
can
else
just
do I
like
get?
look. I can put it. Oh, okay.
Oh,
Thank the bus driver.
Look. So what
Thanks,
you want to
bus
do is you want to
driver.
wait all the way till the end so we can jump out and immediately fly over to the Spawn Island. Got
no way.
It's not
Have,
gonna work.
can people glitch and get it to get back to Spawn Island?
I think
No.
you used to be able to
Yeah.
with rocket
So I
launchers.
once tried swimming out there, but there was a wall that gets in your way, an invisible wall.
What they used to do is they used to use like rocket launchers and ride them. If you get like the perfect height.
How do you ride a
Ride 'em.
freaking rocket launcher?
You used to be able
You
to
jump
stand
at
on
the
top
right
of the
time.
rockets.
Yeah.
I don't know if you can.
What?
Yeah.
They're pretty crazy. And then also people used to like glitch hoverboards
Oh,
or
we're
something.
on 2 teams?
I got
1 team
airstrikes.
and a half? I don't really know.
1.5 teams. Yep. I found airstrikes. So should I use them?
Use
Piper,
them
do
on,
you
use them on the
You say you
tank.
found a
I need airstrike.
recycler.
I need airstrike.
I
A
have one.
recycler? Oh man, I remember those.
I
Oh,
also
those are like
need
the
that.
worst guns in the game, aren't they?
They were pretty bad.
Bro, I totally forgot that balloons are a thing.
Yeah, I don't really know why they added those.
That's
Very weird.
Funsies.
Oh boy.
Don't worry, I'll save
Um,
you.
I do need that
Only,
airstrike, by the way.
dude! I hit him for 75 and then you just stole my kill.
I hit him for 120, bro.
Bruh.
Yeah, only because you were on it.
Whoa.
You did no damage.
I did
Someone died.
120 damage.
Someone was trying to shoot at me.
Probably everyone else around.
Someone's trying to snipe me.
36.
Oh, he's running.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah, run. Killed him.
Nice. There's another one up here
I
near,
just
near Nat.
killed them by shooting
Oh,
their
grenades. Hey, Brad, watch out.
butt. Piper, take Piper, take those. Before it's too late.
There's more
Okay.
airstrikes here.
There's no more airstrikes.
There's more airstrikes right here. You can airstrike this tank, both of you. Or whoever needs it.
I need to airstrike an opponent's tank.
Are you sure?
You can just hit that tank. It counts.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Dope. Let me
Ooh,
go.
let's
Where's
I
the
got another
tank?
machine gun.
It's right there.
Like,
Hey, bye,
right
guys.
in front of you. Hey, did you try opening your eyes?
Oh,
Piper?
wait, where am I going?
Oh crap!
Oh,
I'm
here's
in
a
the
person over
airstrike.
here.
Hey, it won't damage you.
Does it?
No, it's a teammate's of
I killed him.
it's teammates explosions.
Bro, you guys completely
Two people down
destroyed
here?
my car.
Wait, what?
Someone down here.
I
Hold on,
just
let me
whipped.
kill him. Can I please? I need this. Okay, you know what? Fine. You guys
Got
take
him.
my kill. Alright. I need to do damage. No, please. Oh my god, you
I'm
guys
so
Bro,
suck.
sorry.
can we stop finishing people?
Yeah, really.
Yeah,
I need to do my
fine.
quests.
I need a recon scan.
I need to kill somebody with a. I need to do more damage to people with heavy snipers and railguns, but we don't need to do the railguns one.
I need to do more damage to people with the light machine gun.
Nick needs to do more damage in general.
Harpoon
Shut up,
gun.
Nat. Let's remember who died versus who
I have a
didn't.
rift to go.
Guys, there's a problem.
I can't
I'm
pop your
kinda-
balloon.
Yeah, the
Stop.
problem is
Bye,
I need to
Piper.
run over things with a cow catcher, but I can't because my
Sayonara.
car doesn't exist because someone blew it up
Oh,
with an
wait.
airstrike.
Piper, I feel like Piper's gonna die because of that.
I'm not quite
What
sure
is
how
Piper
this
doing?
works. Can I move forward?
Where are
What is
you
Piper doing?
even? She's up in the air. Ooh, hello, revolver.
Can I pop her balloon?
Are we shooting someone?
Yeah. At Piper.
Oh.
I wanted to pop her
No, you
balloons,
can't pop
but it
balloons.
doesn't
I
work.
already tried.
Oh, now I know. Nat, what are you doing?
Well, I did my quest, so.
Ah, I just got launched in the air. Oh, come on. I took damage from that?
Which one?
You gotta be kidding me, girl.
I'm going to water so I can go fish.
Okay.
She's going to.
Of course,
walk.
now
Are
I'm
you going to
fucking with
Collider?
Piper.
Or
Oh,
Yeah.
you destroyed all the wheels of the tank?
I am going to
You can
Collider.
repair them.
That suck.
This is the stupidest way I've ever traveled.
You're
By
the.
balloon.
Nick, just repair the tank.
It's
I'm
so hard to
going
move. I can't like move forward. It just picks me up essentially.
Mm-hmm.
Also, I have no close range weapons, so.
Loser.
I have almost exclusively close range
Loser.
weapons.
Oh, wow. Look at Nat repairing the thingy.
Oh. So I may or may not.
Where are you?
Oh fuck! I
Oh, you're
accidentally
still in the air.
destroyed one of my own balloons.
That's
Aw,
okay, you have
crap,
10.
I hate when you do that.
No, I've used all of them.
Okay.
But I'm landing
Did you do my
nicely in the
sister?
water. So I can fish.
Okay, I'm near both the bosses, and I really want to
Perfect.
avoid
Oh,
them.
I have to steal another.
That counts.
Ooh.
You guys are there?
Rift to go, eh?
You gotta.
Damn it.
Oh, there's people on me.
Oh no, do you need
I'm
help?
getting out of here.
Not
bad.
really. They're like pretty
Hey,
bad.
good.
I'm just gonna go away.
I have to
Whoa!
go.
What'd you do?
Whoa! I jumped, and then then my balloon took me up.
Yeah, do you not understand how balloons work?
You don't think I understand how the balloons work?
Oh,
Nat, there's
Bastard.
people somewhere.
oh my god.
There's a what word?
There's people.
What is with me today? I
I'm
just
gonna
missed
switch from-
literally every bullet
Oh
in my
my
gun.
god, I literally just looked over at my stream and saw that. You missed every
Yeah, that was
single
terrible.
shot.
I'm really just trying to... There we go. Jesus Christ, that was awful. It was horrendous. There's a railgun and 2
Yay, finally did my
recon
quest.
I have a
scanners here.
railgun. I need to rail people.
Yeah.
You have to rail people?
I finally did my quiz.
God fucking damn it! Who is shooting at me?
It's an IO guard.
Maybe
miss
I'll
him?
be able to hit him.
I won't damage
Maybe.
him. I mean, he's pretty stationary.
It did.
Yeah. There's a...
Where are the
Gold
enemies?
strike.
Oh, can I have that pen?
Yeah, go for it. I hate him.
What?
It's also big over there if someone needs it. Piper, you good? You want me to kill him?
Mm-hmm. Nope. I'm just.
Okay.
She's playing with her food.
I mean, he's not hurting me, so it's fine.
Who are we fighting?
She's just...
I was
oh,
just
there you
shooting at an IO guard with my railgun, very poorly.
Wait. Oh crap. I ran into a tank.
Blue revolver.
3,
Are you
4,
Use a
trying to-
blue
let's go
revolver.
there.
I'm gonna
I have
fuck
a blue
around with the
revolver.
blue revolver.
Yeah, I agree.
Or Wild West.
I'm gonna light an IO guard on fire.
Yes, you are,
Wait,
girl.
does that count?
Hashtag Soleil.
Probably.
Piper.
There are 2 minis here if someone wants them. Piper, you gonna fish?
Finish?
Are you gonna fish?
Oh, yes, I am going
You
to
definitely
fish.
said
Something
finish.
right there. No, I said fish.
I really thought you said finish.
Yeah, I heard finish too.
You misheard.
I have been
Is
fishing.
Nat dying?
Natalie, we've talked about
What?
this before.
No,
No
keep playing
dying.
Talking
yourself.
about what?
No killing in
No
I just heard shots over there.
dying.
I didn't. What? Nick's the one who's almost dead.
Oh, that's true.
Oh, that's just because I don't have any heals.
Fair point.
There's plenty of heals over
that's
here.
the all over here.
I'm just doing my quest.
There's a drop. We want to go to the drop.
I literally
I feel like the drops
just
aren't very
went,
good
like,
this
all
season.
around.
It's always like anvils or combat SMGs.
Is there any
There's
ascenders
also-
around?
There's a chest right here, under the water. Yeah, there are
Oh,
senders
I've
at the
seen those
collider.
before.
Oh, there's people.
Yeah, there's
You know
people
what
up
we're
here.
gonna do? You know what we do to people?
Kill
Kill
them.
them.
Did we kill them?
I think we kill them. What did I say? It's an anvil. God damn it.
Wow. I just broke all the. Oh, come on, bro.
Where are they?
On me?
Down this hill? Oh, we're looking at different people.
Yeah, we are. Alright, I have 30
Yeah,
seconds.
there's a whole ass fight going on over here.
Ooh.
Yeah, I just nailed somebody. No! I did my quest though!
Knocked him.
Ah! Hey, let me finish the body. Let
Oh
me
yeah,
finish
down
the body.
there.
Aw, crap. I'm dead.
Did I miss
no, I'm
anyone?
not.
There's
Oh, I
there's
found
more.
the other people.
Are you? Oh. Oh.
I did it! I
Hitting some
finished all
far
my
ass
quests.
shots.
Oh, Piper.
There's real people here.
You got this, Piper. I believe in
all-
you.
Didn't real die.
I believe in you, Piper.
Oh my god, I
real
hit him
guy.
for 125.
Nice.
I didn't
Piper,
real die.
revive me, please.
Trying to get the railgun guy.
Hi, Bay.
He just went over here.
Oh, I finally got the Ascender quest. Yes.
Nice.
Yeah, I also got it.
I'm
right
moving
here.
back to this IO thing.
Didn't think this was
There
gonna
you
be the place.
Is drop?
Oh,
Oh,
that's
no, I
better.
got him.
I now
I'm
have a
just healing
scope
myself.
thing. Oh, they're pushing
okay.
towards us anyway. Perfect.
You
Oh,
have any
well, you're
minis?
welcome for those bullets. Yeah, there's some minis over here, I think.
I think they might just die in storm.
Oh, there's a shield keg. Here, let me,
Uh,
Oh, throw it down.
Nat, you want to
Nice.
launch to them? Right here.
let me pick that up.
No,
Oh,
I'd like
they-
to
My
eat.
machine gun.
You'd like to eat?
What's over here? Raycon.
They're
I was
flying
eating
in.
combos.
Jetpacks, revolver.
Okay, I'm launching.
Are they flying on my head?
No, they were like on me.
Oh,
I'm getting out of there.
I see them, man. I can't help you.
No, I'm out. I'm fine.
Just get out.
I'm near you guys. They might be following me.
This is too late.
Perfect.
I
Well
looked
done.
them up.
Oh. Can I pick up the goddamn weapon? They are shooting at me. I'm gonna launch myself again. Piper, we should get out of here.
Yep, coming.
Go
Wow.
up. Go up all the way to the launcher.
You don't include me. Other
I didn't know you were here. Yeah, I know. That's the people I was
I'm gonna
talking
take
about.
this tank.
I need help.
I literally nailed
Nice.
somebody.
I can't get out.
Nat has 2 people on her.
Where is she?
I
She's
need
over on the
one.
other side. Okay. I don't have anything long range.
Let's go in here.
You know what I'll try and do?
I have something long range. It's
Oh,
called
okay.
a tank.
We're launching towards her. Don't know how we're gonna get back, but that's okay.
There's 2 more here.
Piper, you should probably just stay there,
Got one.
unless there are people around. Just so we can at
40?
least, hit 55.
Oh, come on, bro.
80?
Nice.
Nice.
The
Is
guy
that all of them?
pretty much killed me.
Yeah, and they were the people. No, wait. There's more people. But
Please.
different team, I think.
Okay.
Don't let them get close to me.
Okay.
I have no health. The guy hit me for like 20,000.
Oh, I can't believe I just missed that. That was such a bad shot.
Me neither.
Okay.
Where's the person shooting at me from?
We gotta go.
Everywhere.
We have 10 seconds.
Let's leave.
There's a
Am I
blue
blind?
burst here if someone wants it.
Oh, did you kill everybody? Wow.
Yeah,
dropping
we
my
gotta go.
gun.
Oh,
You guys, thank you for carrying me.
I figured out where
And-
they were shooting at me from. I'm dead.
Piper, try and crawl to storm.
Okay. I was so confused.
How many were there and where? Were they far away?
No, 2. Maybe a
Probably
little
like-
Oh, is
close.
there an airstrike? I need to
Okay.
call an airstrike on the fortress specifically.
They're down there. Oh, I thought it was.
Yeah, I see one.
There's at least
there.
3. I'm gonna try
Hit
and
one
go
for
through.
85.
Actually, I'm gonna go up. Hello. There we go. Oh, it didn't take me all the way up.
I hit him for 1 damage.
Oh, he used the ascender. He was on
Yeah,
top
I
of the
know,
fortress.
I know he is.
Little thing. I'm coming
Hit
up.
for 35. He's lit. Knocked. Holy shit. I'm so low.
Oh, come on. It wasn't
Running.
loaded.
Bro, stop
no,
running.
I'm dead. I'm dead. I'm dead.
Killed
Ah.
one?
There's a guy right
Oh my
here.
God.
Oh.
I gotta heal real quick.
That. Can you, like,
Oh,
Oh.
shit, I gotta go too.
It's too technical.
carry? Thank you.
Where did those? Oh, they fell.
Get quickly in the store. Thank you.
I'm gonna launch.
Did you use the ascender, Ben? Was it you?
Yeah. Oh no, it's right here. Okay, we're good. Did we get Piper? We
I-
didn't.
No, we didn't get
I
Piper's card.
don't
It's okay.
know if-
It's okay.
No, I can.
There.
No, baby, it's fine.
Yo, Nick, I have this.
Oh, you have minis. Do you have any other heals?
No.
Oh,
I have
actually,
6
I miscalculated this somehow. I'm not the brightest. Man, that was a real oversight on my
It's
part.
5 tick.
Yeah, I know. Oh, I'll collect her though. There you go. You can at least get her.
Hopefully this.
Oh,
It was just a
no.
trade-off.
There's not even a place to reboot. Yeah, there is.
It was not a good
I know-
trade-off then.
Mission
is.
Impossible, let's go.
No, baby.
What? No, I'm
We have no
healing
white
myself.
heals.
No!
I
No!
have one
Bro.
close. I have 2 closely. What are you
I-
doing?
There's
It was 5 tick. I didn't realize.
Nat, can you come over here?
No, Nicholas, I cannot come
Oh,
over.
I'm dead.
You are in store,
Oh,
my
boy.
guy.
We're
No, he's
fine. We're
making
just
it, man.
diving with no third.
You only need one
we only
tire.
have 1 wheel.
Oh, I got a med kit. I don't
Nice.
think we'll take down the mountain.
All right.
What's up, bro?
It's a
Like my-
2v3. You
like
guys can
my
win
drip.
this, especially if you bring her back.
I
Sure, I mean,
As long as
literally
you can
have
just get
I have
heals.
15 health.
I mean, you
Okay,
have
well-
115 health technically.
Technically I have.
Listen, a couple good
45
railgun
health.
shots and
Nick,
it's quickly
there's eat the mushrooms.
a 2v2.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
I think you guys are. I think this is decent.
Don't worry, I'm distracting them.
They might be up here.
Nope, they're shooting at me. That's where they are.
Piper, can you just dive down and come to this house?
Yes.
They're over
Hit it
here.
for 175 or 170. He's
I
literally.
don't have
like-
any
Nice.
medium range weapons.
They're
One's
so
suit,
dead.
one's low. There you go.
Alright, he's dead.
You had to hit him with a sniper? He
Yes,
had like
that's
2 health.
my only
Go
weapon.
see if he has any heals.
Ooh, there's bandages up here.
He doesn't.
Okay.
He has. Well, I mean, I
Uh,
guess technically he does. He has.
I literally taken bandages out of my mind, so I never use them when I get them.
Oh, Piper, you're here.
What? The pokey skin's really low.
I hit one for 85.
Oh, you guys are winning this. Nice. She's right around that tree.
Yeah.
Shoot his A.
See, I told you guys could do
I got
this.
pushed. Okay,
Oh,
no,
and
it's
then
fine.
you-
I just won't hit a shot.
There we
Nice.
go.
I got you.
Good job,
I knew
Ben.
it was
you
a.
carried this
Yeah, I
whole
knew it was a
team.
worthy trade-off.
Carried the whole team. I think my only kill I got was the second to last guy.
To be fair, I did have 5 kills and 8 assists.
I did a bunch of quests.
Nat, how many
I
kills
did-
did you have?
I got almost 2,000 XP or
We
200,000
had a lot of
XP.
kills.
Nat, how many kills did you have?
Shoot 6.
6 and 6 assists.
I had 8 kills and 7 assists.
Nice. Piper,
What?
how many kills, assists did you have?
I had 2 kills and 3 assists.
Nice.
That's pretty good
Mm-hmm.
for you.
Shut up.
Piper's like, I want to go fishing.
Was that this match?
No, that was last match.
No, it was last match.
Piper, you know what's
So,
funny? I saw this tweet
I
the
also
other day
did
and
say I
I
was
thought I
going to go
sent it to you.
fishing because I used my balloons to go fishing.
Why is it currently not available?
Is what?
Wait, when you okay, go into your seasonal quests. Are they currently not available for you too?
What?
It
That's
says
when you
all
finish
quests
them?
complete.
For you?
Yeah, all quests completed, and then I also I have a glitched out week 6 quest that I've done but it hasn't disappeared.
What
So
quest?
mine says not available in current match.
Oh, weird. Maybe it just thinks you're in a different mode.
Oh, that's okay. It's cause oh, that's weird. So it says complete 65 season quests and then 67 and then 70. Is that normal?
Yeah.
Wait, where are we going?
Anywhere.
Joneses?
I haven't loaded in yet.
Oh my Piper.
I think we had this problem with me a while back too, where we would always have to go back to the lobby each time.
That's wait. That means I dropped my oh
Crown.
Piper.
Yeah.
Piper.
Did you finish with the crown?
Sorry.
I did. I know
Okay.
that.
What do you mean you finished? How did you finish with the
And we
oh, you
picked him
Yeah,
up.
like,
from
I'm
somebody
victory.
else. No, you picked it up from somebody else.
Yeah, except that means I finished with it.
Yeah. Alright.
Sorry, guys.
I think somebody should just die so I can like reboot them. Alright. I still need to do that. Deal 50 or are all of these are all of the recon quests stages?
No, not all of them.
No.
Not the headshot one.
Don't have
Not the deal damage to an opponent
Oh,
within
yeah.
30 seconds of scanning them. Or
What
the
about the deal
50 more
the
meters.
50 meters? That's not
That's
okay.
not a stage, no.
There's only 2.
I think so, just the scanning and the damage.
Alright, how
Alright.
about we land? Actually, I don't really care where we land. I'm a savage. What?
It was just out of nowhere.
It's the song.
I know.
You're literally right next to me. You can hear the song.
No, I have my licensed music turned off. But I'm
Uh,
streaming.
Oh.
I think I actually have all music turned off. I don't like the Fortnite default music either.
That's
Where
why
are we
they added
going?
music to the game. I don't know.
Joneses?
Forged.
Greasy?
Yeah, Josie's has a lot of forged items. Forged.
It does, yeah.
thingies.
Where are we going?
Joneses.
Joneses?
Oh my God, Piper. Were you like asleep?
Sorry. I was
Piper
asleep.
has a crown.
Yeah, because I just went straight to the lobby.
Ah. Oh, nah, the dog is fast asleep on my bed.
It's a good drop, Piper.
What?
So that's a good drop.
Yeah, both of you.
Is that one of us on the...
There's,
Zip line?
Yeah, that was me. So
Okay, we still got more people here. It's a Chun-Li that I'm killing.
a Shun-Li?
Chun-Li?
Oh, a Chung. Okay. The
Oh,
skin,
I'm so dead.
Oh my god, Mullet Marauder.
Yeah,
skin with the big butt.
yeah, that's
Yeah.
good.
I
More
didn't-
shots in here.
I am blind, bro.
Not. Oh, one
I
up top
literally
too.
walked-
Damn it.
What?
They're matching. There's one right here.
I only have. I'm,
I'm
gonna buy
being
a gun.
chased by someone who
There's
has
a
a
lot
real
of people
gun.
around here.
I can't hit a shot. It's not good.
I
one
only
here.
have a sniper.
There was another one around too. I don't know where. I didn't even see him. They blended in with the... You did well with that sniper.
We're all dead.
I bought a dub.
Oh,
You
I
what?
shouldn't have
We're all
bought
dead.
anything because that's why I died.
we actually are. All dead.
That has 1 health.
Nice.
Ah, I killed him.
Yes, quick scope that guy. How are you still alive? Oh,
I don't know.
There we go.
I should not have. I guess. Bro, I hate the combat. Should we go back
SMG?
to lobby or should we actually try to play again?
back to lobby.
Back to lobby.
Back to lobby. Disabled? What?
What's disabled?
Disabled.
Oh,
Why are you
I'm
guys sitting out?
I'm sitting out.
Oh, I don't
Ready.
know either.
I don't know. That was weird.
That was
So
weird.
glitchy.
This is probably your guys' last games.
Last
you
names.
haven't. I got confused.
Why? You don't have to-
What's your glitched week 6 quest, Ben?
Deal damage to opponents from 30 meters or more with assault rifles.
Oh, that one's not glitched for me.
No. It's just still there. It's
Have
done.
a week 6 quest?
Yeah, it's just stayed there. Hasn't
No, no,
disappeared.
Viper.
Oh. Well, no, she probably also has a glitched one.
Not that one. I swear I've mantled 5 times in 5 seconds and it hasn't done it.
That one's really hard to do.
Yeah.
I'm trying to see how much... Oh, stats. There we go. Okay, I played 14 days and 1 hour on Xbox. I played, like, what was it, 45 days on PC? And who knows how much on mobile.
Wow.
Probably not as much
Hey,
as either
mobile?
of us. I used to, remember? Oh, maybe you didn't play with
can-
us.
You can still play mode.
Oh my god!
Oh my
I-
god, I
I-
put the... Ben, look at me. Look at me.
Oh, Jesus.
I don't know if you ever played with us when we were doing mobile.
You know you can still play mobile, right?
Yeah, if you explain the whole thing to me, I don't know.
What was it, GeForce Experience or whatever?
Nope,
Some through
Xbox.
GeForce? Oh, cloud gaming?
Xbox. There's an Xbox app.
Oh, I was like, I'm about to take damage, but I realized we were in the spawn.
Where are we going?
I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah,
we'll
let's
move
go
in.
out there.
Man cake.
I'm really
Hey,
feeling
great.
it all the way out there. Actually, let's go even further.
So, this
How'd
is
you
really
even mark-
great.
How'd you
What?
even mark all the way out there?
Oh,
Who did it?
Piper.
Oh, I don't know.
She just does it sometimes. I don't know how she does it.
My Switch does it.
She's magic.
We need to get you a stylus for pinging
I can
stuff.
mark out really far away. Because I have all that area on my map still.
Mm-hmm.
All the blue. Man cake, man cake, man cake, man
Why
cake.
are we landing here? This is like,
Because man cake's the best character, period.
Oh.
There's literally nothing you can say that would
Oh, Ben,
otherwise.
come.
Oh, yeah.
I accidentally.
He's
met-
selling
hit one
Stinger
sword at you.
SMGs. Legendary
Perfect.
Stinger SMGs.
Oh, nice.
buy some.
I
I'm gonna
bought
buy
one.
'em out. I'm
He's
gonna buy
also
'em out.
selling a legendary striker pump shotgun.
Wait, did I already do my
Yeah, I'm just not gonna loot, and I'm just gonna buy guns from Mancake.
Mancake.
Dang.
Bargain bin week starts next week, too.
King.
bargaining week?
Bargain bin. All the
Oh my
prices
God.
of things are slashed.
Why did you buy all of them?
I need
Oh,
to
wait.
spend bars.
You're so funny.
Okay.
Come on,
Yeah,
baby.
okay.
the
Jesus.
bottom. I need a pistol if anyone has a finds a pistol.
Okay.
Nick, can I have an SMG, please?
There's.
Oh, wait, I found one.
18 No, really?
How many are there?
It's about
I
12.
don't
There's
know,
2 more
because-
gold strikers, but there's no
I-
SMGs there.
Oh.
There's
this
no
is-
gold strikers.
Or a gold striker.
How did I manage to buy
Oh yeah,
them out?
there is.
I literally bought
I'll take I'll take a gold striker just for shits and giggles.
For what in giggles?
Shits and giggles. Is that funny to you? Cause it's a bad word.
No. Just never heard that.
I would recommend leaving the house also, by the way.
Why do you always have to
What?
light stuff on fire?
I'm not lighting anything on fire.
Then what'd you do?
The fire lit itself.
I'm just gonna throw...
Oh, there's people here.
Maybe there's a green SMG here if you want it.
Oh,
There's a squad here. Granted, a bounty. is
Oh my
part of the
God.
Squad.
What?
My spreads have been awful.
samesies. Oh, come on, bro.
I hit him for 134.
So?
Whoa.
You getting shot?
Bro, why are
Yeah.
you chasing me? Why? This guy just comes out of nowhere.
Probably 'cause they want
Behind
to
you,
kill
Piper. Oh, I hit him.
How do you get there?
Oh, yeah, that's what you get, Ben. That is what you get.
I think you care
So
about
the
this a lot more
rescue
than
team
I
might
do.
be pushing us.
Oh, don't
I don't care.
destroy this guy. Don't kill this guy. Don't kill that
Okay.
guy. I want to hit him from really far away.
This guy that I'm about to shoot?
Bruh!
More shots.
Yeah. Wait, hold on. I need to hit him from 50 meters.
Well, it's definitely 50 meters. Oh, I thought you meant the
What's
guy
it?
that was... I thought you meant the guy out here. Try and shoot that guy.
No.
Guys,
Got him.
there's people everywhere. There's people in here. There's people. There's some random kid who God knows what.
Wait,
Just
who?
chased me from Narnia.
Oh, well, one of them just died. I think Oompa Loompa 24 is over here.
Ah, yes, Oompa Loompa 24. My favorite player of them all.
We're picking up a shield keg for
I
us.
missed
when
my
we're
shot.
done fighting
360 nose
people.
go!
I
Yep,
missed my shotgun shot.
You know what I didn't miss?
What?
I didn't miss my shot.
Yeah.
Because I killed it. And you didn't.
Because
Yeah.
Nick's better than you. That's what he's
Because I'm
trying to
better than
say.
you.
He also
That's
had a
just
gold
what he is.
striker.
No,
A lot
no,
of gold
Loser.
he
strikers
had
around.
he had a auto. I just stole the
Guys, can I have shield?
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
everyone gather. I have a...
yeah, okay.
Oh,
Oh wait, Natalie isn't here.
she's up
Natalie!
above. He's also getting shot. There's people over here.
Successfully have one.
All the way over there? That's not a person.
That's where people were shooting her from.
Yeah, I saw that.
Unless it was the tank.
I hear footsteps.
Go figure.
Oh, the
Oh, I'm
people
dead.
over there.
We went the
up.
wrong
Oh,
way.
I'm
Of
also
course,
dead.
of course, Ben and I leave, and you guys start to suffer.
Bro, why would you leave?
Yeah. Whoa.
Killed one.
Yeah. Nice. I'm about to die.
You're dead.
I'm dead.
Oh my
I
god,
bought
I can't
myself
hit a
my
shot to save my life.
Oh my God, Ben.
I have like.
Jeez.
I don't think I hit a single shot.
I don't either. That honestly impressed me.
What am I?
There
Oh, I
should be
switched my
enough stuff
shotgun
around
out
here
somehow.
for you to live. Can somebody help me revive her?
Yeah.
Ben, stay here with the loot and make sure no one kills it.
Okay.
Kills the
Actually,
loot.
the reboot van's right here.
Yeah.
I hate strikers.
Piper, there should be so much loot here that you don't know what to do with it.
Thanks,
Piper,
bro.
Took your.
And
Can you throw the shield cage?
Another crown too. And a pistol, Piper, if he needs that. Crown there. Purple drum here.
there's, you should just like start throwing down.
Recon
crowns.
scanner.
Oh, I want a recon scanner.
I think that crown just got evaporated.
What? No, I picked it up.
No one.
No, the one that was over there.
Oh, is there a crown down there? Nope.
Not anymore.
I'm gonna
Piper-
carry this
No,
instead.
Piper got a crown.
No, she doesn't.
No, we don't. I
Okay, go.
need a recon scanner.
We gotta go.
I see that. I don't know why you thought I needed food because I wasn't like.
Yeah, we were
I-
arrived. We.
I know, but you rebooted me, so I had like
Yeah.
full shield and everything.
Anybody else want to hop in? And where is Piper? Where we going?
There's a bug. Ugh, I just smushed the bug with my hand.
Oh, I have no distance weapon.
Oh, people,
there's a
right in front of
person.
us.
Run over the person.
Oh,
Oh my
Jeez,
god.
we ripped through
I
him.
didn't even get to the person.
that's so funny.
There's nothing there.
I'm gonna carry 2 floppers.
Okay.
Dude!
My bad.
Ah!
Piper, what do you expect from
How
him?
are you up there?
You stay there, Piper. Alright, Nat.
I am staying
What? You're
here.
getting back in the truck? Nice.
Nat. Piper, you might want to, like, crouch.
Oh,
That would make
This is
you
not a
less
good
of
idea, Piper.
target.
run over the Omni truck.
Can
Why is
somebody
this
get
I will.
I'll get the bounty.
Every single
Oops.
one of you want.
I'll go get the Omni chip. I'll be back. Wait, you guys.
Piper,
Okay.
what are you doing?
Go.
I'm
Oh, wait, you're
on
in
top
already?
of my.
Alright, let's go kill our
What is
bounty,
it?
shall we?
What is it? Oh,
I knew this would happen.
Piper.
hold on.
Okay,
There's also a
maybe get
drop on the
into some.
way. Yeah, Piper, that's not gonna work.
We have to go over the water. I don't know.
The second we hit a hill, she's gonna be
I
flying.
only have close range weapons, by the way.
I
just have to get in
a ranger,
close.
and that's it. There's a purple chicken over there.
Not
Go
what
towards
I'm
the
looking
chicken. They're over this.
You want to kill it? Hit your shots,
What?
kids.
just,
purple,
We
Sure
should all
thing.
have
Everyone
those
needs it, though.
legendary.
if
I have
we
a
want.
green
I
ranger.
don't think Piper wants.
Alright, we're driving
Okay.
right into combat.
I think it's probably them. It's a Ramirez skin.
Somebody
Piper,
shooting
shoot
at
the
us?
fish.
I'm getting out.
Go again. Nice.
There's more,
Is
aren't there?
there a, is there a
He's
crouch
bullying this
person?
kid.
There's a heavy sniper here.
Oh,
Oh, I
come
need
on,
those
Nat.
bullets.
Oh, sorry. I can give you all of them.
Oh, can I have the heavy
you.
sniper?
Go for
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, go for it.
Great.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
That wasn't our
Oh,
bounty.
there's another person.
Oh, right.
There's 2 sharks and
That was also not our bounty.
a cooler.
But they're near.
If anybody wants to carry
Hello?
2
They're probably
shaggy
coming over this.
long
Oh,
range.
You see
they're
him?
going towards the road.
I'm gonna go
Stop it.
speak to the person over here. It's
I see him.
Brainiac.
You see him?
Wait, no, that's not them.
I have 2
Oh.
flaws,
Oh, they're right in front
Yep.
of us.
striker, stinger, heavy, and then 3 big.
Got him. Not dead though.
Oh,
Really
Jesus.
close to it, though. Nope. Not today, young man. Where'd he go?
He's over here.
Okay.
Oh,
Dead. Still not our bounty.
that's not our bounty.
Yeah. Mark 7 here for someone.
Could he just be hiding in the tall grass?
Well, he's coming through here.
Well, yeah, he has to move.
You can just hold him.
I'm gonna go around the other side of this hill.
Just hold him and storm.
We will. Just want to make sure he doesn't escape. Could already be past us.
Don't think so.
Yeah, we're like on top of the guy.
Mm-hmm.
Where is he?
Is he right in front of us? No, this is a whole different
Wait
squad.
for it to update.
I want a recon gun.
Oh, there's a person right on me.
Perhaps that's
You kill
them.
him.
Got him.
Nice.
So they're
Oh,
running?
it
There
wasn't
we
him.
go.
Oh, it was. Wow.
No, it
You're welcome,
wasn't.
guys.
It was Pogs.
Oh, you're right.
It's whoever's in Collider.
What? No.
What
I
the-
killed the guy, bro.
People over here. I'm getting shots. Not from over there, though. From up on the hill or towards Collider.
Yeah, right there.
Yeah, there's
Anyone
people
for
up here,
85?
there's people down there, and
I'm
then
gonna
there's...
take this truck, try and get him. There's at least 2 people over here. Gonna try and hit one.
These sandbags are crap
so-
for cover. God damn.
I'm actually just gonna knock him into storm. Hopefully.
Oh, I see that guy.
Or
Oh,
maybe
that's
not.
good shots.
Behind you, Piper, behind you.
One's knocked. I gotta sit up.
Got him.
You got this guy over
There's
here.
people
Okay.
up on the hill, Piper.
This guy's still down,
All the
so
way
he
at
has
the top.
friends.
Oh my god, they took the pad. There are 2 people in Collider.
Another railgun here. Also,
Oh, crap.
where's that coming
They're on
from?
far side of the Collider.
Hit it for
There's a
an
big
89.
here, and
That
I
was
have
on the
minis if
hill.
someone wants
It's
to.
now far side Collider.
So big here. Someone flying in.
Oh, he's falling in. Yeah.
For 12. I don't know what he's really trying to achieve here. 1v4. Nice.
Killed him.
Storm's
Wait,
moving in,
don't
we gotta
destroy him,
go.
don't destroy him.
Storm's
No,
go.
no, stop,
We
stop,
gotta
stop.
go.
Wait, no.
I killed him
We can
first.
try and grab
God.
this battle bus up here.
Sorry, I had to do it too.
Nah, it's fine.
I also have to do
People
damage.
still
We have
flying.
the same quests.
I know.
Do you want to take this
There's a jetpack here.
person here?
He
Could
lands
be
on
out
the
here.
other side of this hill.
I don't know where you want to go, but we just get in
There's people
storm.
Collider. There's people hacking at.
Uh-oh.
Bruh, stop shooting at me.
Or are you shooting at me?
He's like almost dead.
Oh, he's literally in front of me.
You deserve
Bro,
to get
he had
danced on.
4 hearts. I know I said hearts. Uh-oh.
So
He
I gotta
died in
move.
my arms. Damn. how
People
good.
from north, but firing at us.
What the-
I have med mist for.
Yeah, there's Mimis over
I
here
have
too.
floppers. Oh,
So
he
some
left
minis.
while I was carrying him.
There's minis here for people that need them.
Oh, Sloan's burst. Anybody? Wait, you said you had floppers, right?
Fuck, where did that
There's med
fucking
mist.
I have
mist go?
3 flops, bro, and I'm gonna have
Oh,
to
wait, I might have misjudged this severely.
God damn it, Nicholas.
5 health. Guys, like, right outside, please. Literally,
Okay, that was Piper.
get
Yeah,
me,
yeah,
please.
yeah. Hold on.
Shots. Over here. It's only one of them.
Thank you.
I danced on this guy and he
Dead.
rage quit.
I dance on this man's dead body.
Another railgun. Should I take it?
There's medkits here.
How many kills do y'all have?
4.
Another medkit.
2.
Can't imagine
18.
how many assists I have.
Pop off.
I'm kidding. I only have
Here's.
12.
Yeah. What did I drop? Where's my shotgun?
Careful for storm, Nick.
Someone take a shotgun?
Everyone careful.
Anybody need a
Yeah,
big?
yeah,
Where did that
Yeah.
shotgun go? Oh, here it is.
Yeah.
It's not
multiple.
going very fast.
Blend it in with. Yeah. Okay.
Alright.
Guys, take
This
bigs.
is an
Where
odd.
are you?
I'm full.
Oh, I see, okay.
An odd circle. Yeah.
Yeah.
We should.
There's big here. Hold on,
Up
I'll take
here?
from this one.
Would probably be best if we can make it around.
Oh, wait, where's the big? I need the big.
Taking big.
I
quickly,
threw that
taking
vent.
big quickly.
Why?
And then bam, bam, past it again.
I'm trying to get up here before the storm moves in. Okay. That being said, I'm the one with. They're using. Oh, that was you, Piper.
Yeah.
They're shooting up
found
here.
Where are they?
They're fighting a chicken over there.
How'd you guys get up there?
I went around
I'm launching myself
before the.
I'm
Launch
just...
yourself where?
directly to where you pinged,
Okay.
I-
Well, Okay.
but I missed it a little bit. So
Are they in the bush?
Yeah, they were.
Man, you wanna hop in?
No.
Alright, suit yourself.
They're gonna be pushing out of that bush probably. Yep.
oh, I hear. Whoop.
I was right. They were in the bush.
I need to get out. Oh, I'm stuck under here. Damn it. Get me out. Oh my god, I'm gonna die.
I hit him
Oh,
for a lot.
okay, I hit the guy with the balloon
Oh
multiple
my god.
times.
The second I got out
really?
of storm.
Did.
Come on, Nat. Come on, Nick.
Damn it. Guy flying over here, by the way. fly
knocked
into the
one.
other part of.
I'm gonna go finish him.
How many?
Okay.
Okay, Piper.
This is it. These are the only people left.
You guys stay there. This guy's gonna be coming in.
And
Piper,
just
Piper!
join.
He's over here.
Piper!
Looks like he's getting in the boat. Yep, he's in the boat.
I'm trying to go to circle.
Nice. He's
I'm
gonna
gonna die.
what are you doing?
Bye.
Ow.
Oh, there's the other.
Killed him.
Nice.
Nice.
Oof.
Fire.
I
Why did it say
totally
there
forgot I
were
had a
4
shot.
people
with it.
left.
Oh, because they were
everybody
knocked.
else was knocked.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't think of that.
Damn.
Alright.
Oops.
Kills?
Got a hell.
4 and 8.
2 kills, 5 assists.
4 kills, 1 assist.
14 kills.
How many assists?
I don't know, like 2.
Oh, so what I'm hearing is we just assist you with all your kills.
Well, I did steal
Sure.
like half of Ben's kills because he stole one
Oh,
of mine.
oh, Nick is in the lobby. Oh, let's go to the lobby.
Yeah.
Well, I
Don't you guys
I
need to
didn't
go to
wanna
bed?
lose another crowd.
It is
Parents
11:02.
aren't- Parents aren't even home.
Really? Where are they?
Last night I went to bed at like 2.
They were next door watching stand-up comedy with neighbors.
With,
After having way too much wine.
Ruby and
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sandeep.
How did Piper get 10 levels so quickly?
You only got 5.
I got 5.
Oh, then my screen was glitched earlier because it said that she was at 144.
I was at 150. I might have been like yesterday at that level.
No, it literally was like 3 rounds ago.
I don't know what to tell you.
Is it the 27th? It is. No, it's not.
Yeah. No, it's the 28th.
Weird.
Yep.
Is that really
Tomorrow, you know what tomorrow is?
What?
The 29th?
Mom's birthday.
I mean the 28th.
What's tomorrow?
Mom's birthday.
Oh yeah, tomorrow's the 29th.
28th?
Tomorrow's mom's birthday.
Tomorrow's the 29th.
Mom's
Yeah,
birthday.
Mom's birthday.
You know what else is tomorrow?
What?
Andy's birthday.
28th?
Do Mom and Andy have the same birthday?
29th. Yeah.
Oh, they do. That's so funny.
That's how I always remember Andy's birthday.
Purple, you're coming in 2 days. Jesus.
Mhm.
I gotta clean.
I will clean your room, but then then you'll not enjoy it. 'Cause I'll be very mean to you about it.
You don't be mean to me. You just do it.
I'm just gonna force you to make decisions and throw things out.
I don't even have
I
a
just don't have a
problem.
lot of patience with people cleaning because I just want to throw everything away.
You say that, but like not with yourself.
That's
I
not
think you
true.
I think you're just okay with throwing other people's stuff away.
I threw most of my like when I'm cleaning, I just try to get rid of as much stuff as possible.
Who wouldn't throw other people's stuff away?
Where are we going?
Like I'm
let's-
not one to keep things
let's go.
sentimentally.
Let's
Let's.
vaults.
Vaults? Okay. Let's go here.
Can we even open any vaults?
Yeah, we can.
Yeah.
Can.
I need. more
Somehow
railguns.
I've only opened 4 vaults.
Yeah, I've only opened a couple.
Why do you guys always have to go places like
Ugh.
complete opposite where I have to go? Oh, well.
Ooh, I
Because
got a
I
headshot with a railgun. Nice.
Don't
Nice.
like you.
I mean, if you would have said
Me?
something, there's another
Yep.
one like right on the opposite side of the island.
Yeah, I literally just have to go to any vault in the whole wide world.
I want to fish.
You always want to fish.
I probably
I'm on
should
stage
need to
19 out of
fish.
20.
Nice.
I'm on stage.
Did you finish fishing?
Yeah.
I'm
You're
on
con.
stage 2 out of 20.
I'm too low.
It's only
what?
380 fish.
How many?
380.
380.
Oh, that's nothing.
I'm at 373 right now.
Wait, for the
What are we
last
talking
one?
about?
No, no, it's 400 total.
Yeah, no, I'm on 19. Out of 20, not 20. On 20.
Oh, you're mean.
I stole the splashes.
Why don't
Yeah.
you share?
Alright, let's go get this vault. Whoa.
I want to run at someone with my singular weapon.
Why are we doing this?
Yeah.
Bro, did you use the aircrate? No. Oh.
I have my reasons.
Don't blow up the helicopter.
Ooh, boom
Where's the
sniper.
helicopter?
What? You
Oh,
want me
there
to
it
Oh,
blow
I
up the
need to
helicopter?
do the
Notch.
helicopter thing.
Right there.
Where's the
Alright,
where's the
we're at
helicopter?
The
the...
vault. In
move?
here.
Oh,
Move.
you...
I swear to God.
Oh, we're doing the vault? Come
Move.
on, guys, let's go do
Oh
the
my
vault.
God.
Oh my god, Piper, finally.
Nicholas,
you
why
moved.
didn't you move?
Why didn't you move?
Ugh, you're
I'm
so annoying.
cooler than you.
Why did I have to
Should've
break
moved.
down the door so you
We're
guys
the
could
same
move?
because we're siblings.
She was the one that was supposed to move.
I got there
I'm trying to
first.
pet you.
No, I was there first.
Well, you can pet his backpack.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to do.
Don't pet me, please. That's kind of weird.
Okay.
Don't pet my one.
Where's
Nice.
the...
I
oh, here it
still
is.
have
Oh, I think-
all
Dad's home.
gray things. That's okay. I'll take this rejected rifle.
What? You're rejected?
Where's the helicopter?
there.
On the
Helicopter.
helicopter.
Did anyone get a bounty? Yeah, we got a bounty.
There's a bounty? What's the bounty?
We already got a bounty. Oh my god.
Bounties towards Greasy.
Hey, can you wait
Ah.
like 2 seconds? Okay, I have bad knees.
Anybody else for the helicopter?
Yeah. I got
Let's
some.
go.
Oh, let me look at what quest I have to do with the helicopter.
Just
Okay.
have to dr-
I need
travel.
to
Fly
travel,
around.
Oh. Now if I'm on the helicopter,
fly to
then I.
command cavern.
Maybe.
Yep.
Not.
Yeah, you do.
Not.
Yeah, you do. Yes, you do, I think.
What did you think I was gonna say?
Does it count for you?
You get the travel.
No. If I'm on your helicopter and then I use Rift to go, will our helicopter Rift?
Probably. We could also
Yeah,
just
or
use
you could
these
just like
rifts,
go
though.
to the rift.
Do I
Yeah.
grab it?
I can't Rift
Oh.
on.
That was a mistake.
Get in the
Misclick.
helicopter.
Let's go.
Go. You missed the rift, Nat.
That's fine.
Oh wait, I can take the rift.
Yeah.
No,
don't go back.
back.
You just use one of the ones in the air. I mean, it doesn't really matter. You don't really need to get that high. It's just a quick way to get high.
Wait, can I pet your dog? Hey Nick, come over here. Oh, I can't do it while I'm up here.
Wow.
I still need a.
My dog's
Pistol.
been through a lot. It's
Still need
like-
a pistol.
I need a pistol and a railgun.
My
I have a
dog's
railgun.
a lot like John Wick's dog.
What, dead?
Okay. That was uncalled for.
I mean, I can see it. It's not dead.
Who are you?
It's trying to take out the radar dish.
Let me fish.
I have a ranger. I just realized that I have a ranger.
Okay, where to now, people?
Let me fish. To the water.
Oh, wrong button.
Ben, did you just?
God damn it.
That was really funny to me.
There are like people down here too. Let me see if I can
No,
crawl
I
onto
think it's
this
just IO
pad.
guards.
I mean, there's people fighting the IO guards. Oh, it's you guys
Oh, I have
fighting.
to headshot.
Yeah, it's
IO,
me.
right? So this is
And
really
I
good that we-
literally died to an IO guard. I don't know what happened. What
Ha-
just happened.
Hey, look where I am.
How?
How am I
He
able to
two
stand here?
pumped me.
Are you guys dead?
Oh, parents are back.
Yeah, and you're gonna
Yeah.
get in trouble.
The two of them are dead. I'm closer to Nick, so I'm gonna arrest him. Sorry, Ben.
There's,
Okay.
yeah, they're not dead.
Please welcome
Pepper,
back,
where are you?
guys. I jumped off the helicopter
Jeez.
onto the top floor, and I landed
gonna
on a
die.
launch pad, and then I flew over to where there was water so I could fish.
Is Ben gonna
6,
die? Yeah,
4,
Ben's gonna die.
Ben's gonna
2.
die. But I'm near a reboot van, so if you pick him up, I can reboot him right now.
Pick him up, pick him up.
Well, I don't
Did
even know
you
where your
just take
card
my-
is.
Wow, you really took.
You dropped it.
Yeah, cause I had
Alright,
to.
reboot him, Piper.
KK.
Here, wait.
He doesn't get any of his loot. I don't
You
want it
get one.
anymore.
I'm rebooting you.
I can fly
Okay,
to
Ben,
it.
just
Don't
come
touch
back
my
to,
loot. Yeah.
to yellow, and you can get your stuff.
Not that I had
Ah.
any good loot, but
Yeah, fair enough.
At least be a gun and a crown.
Wait, where are you?
Can I have your pistol though?
I don't
Write
have it.
this
I didn't
down.
have a pistol.
You're gonna have a pistol because you just were rebooted.
You're right. You're right.
Rebooted with a.
Alright, I'm about to die again.
I wouldn't recommend that.
Bro! I literally have 21 health because of a stupid IO guard.
Loser.
Oh, really, Piper?
No, it's okay. I died IO guards.
Storm
Gun.
coming in fast. I need to get out of here.
Let's do hard players. The hard players.
Ugh.
Oh, come on.
Fish, 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 fish,
Come
fish,
on.
fish, fish. Fishy, 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 fish, fish, fish. Fishy, fish, fishy, fish, fish. Fishy, fishy, fish, fish, fish.
Yeah,
Piper.
I'll go to bed after this.
Piper, just a heads up. Don't become a singer.
I was not planning on it. Have you heard Dad and Natalie sing? It runs in the family.
Okay. Fishy, 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 fish, fish, fish.
Hee hee, I've heard you sing now too. Fish,
You didn't save
fishy,
any.
fishy,
You didn't
fishy,
save any
fishy,
fishing
fishy.
rods for me.
I have a
There was
pistol
only
here.
one.
Rude.
Yep. You know me. Rude. But the first thing I fished was a blue. It's a blue drum gun. And now I'm just fishing bullets.
I'm just fishing for compliments.
You're beautiful.
I didn't mean that. Stop that.
You're so funny. Okay. Why do you want me to stop that?
I don't want to hear it.
He knows it's not true. Just kidding.
Exactly. I don't even remember what you said.
I fished a pistol.
Okay. We are
Who?
scattered. Let's meet at the Red
We are
Bridge.
not.
Give me a fish.
We are simply social distancing.
Yeah, you're right. Hi, Allie.
Allie!
Allie, Allie,
Yep, Allie A. is in my chat right now.
Is Allie here?
Yeah, she is.
OMG, hi Allie. Hi, bestie. I see you're not having.
She says, "Hi, Piper, I love you."
I love you. I think she just sent me a message on.
Oh, I just looked.
Chat.
I
Snappity
just
chap
looked
chap.
at your
Chappity, chappity.
your description.
Yeah.
What do you mean by betas?
You'll understand it someday.
What did you say? What did he say?
With my stream
You
title.
think you're the alpha?
That's the joke.
There's a purple combat for someone.
I am not getting any
Purple
fish.
combat.
I'm supposed to be
You
getting
just
fish.
you just get so unlucky with fish.
I got 5. I
Instead
got
of going
6
back to
fish.
Florida, you're going to New York. Why?
You guys
Why?
need to fish
Okay.
better.
I have a total. I fished
Oh my gosh,
When?
she's coming to New York.
I got a
Yeah.
1, 2,
thermal
3.
I guarantee
4
it's gonna be right when you
floppers
come here.
and the
This is so
surface.
sad.
Just fish
I
better.
literally
change my
fished
trip so I can
3
meet Allie.
I
guns
swear
and
to
3
God.
rusty cans. I fished 3 guns
Oh,
and 3
someone's
Use
on me.
fishing holes then.
Not a single fish. What are you shooting at?
Hey,
A purple crow.
I'm
Alright,
fighting
Piper.
people, by the way.
Look at. Okay.
I can do that too, dumbass.
Nobody asked you.
I know I have to go to bed after this.
You both need to.
Okay, I'm gonna die because there's
Yeah.
a full team on me.
All 3 of you need to. Look, Piper. Look at this.
What?
Did you plan to see me?
3.
Oh, that's so funny.
Guns, 3. Did you?
Let me try fishing.
She's watch. She's
Um,
gonna get a fish first try. Ben,
I'm
what
dead.
happened?
I got massacred by a team.
Fish.
How?
I,
No,
did you
that's
not hear
cheating.
me?
No, I wasn't really listening. I was more complaining about my stupid
Um,
fish.
Yeah.
How'd you get another?
So I'm just gonna run around with 12 floppers.
Gun. Not fish. Okay. We're gonna come get Ben now.
Why do you have so many floppers?
There's none of these
Oh,
Yeah, that was the
special
team that was
lights in.
killing me.
I need help. They stole my freaking
Coming.
stuff.
Nick and I are coming to the rescue.
I still haven't gotten a. Okay.
Nat, why do you
We
have
are?
this loadout right
I
now?
have no extra spirit shield, but I have
I have minis over there.
12 floppers.
And blue burst. Or I did have minis. They clearly
Where are
took
you?
them. Near the collider.
Are you where my purple mark is?
Yeah, pretty much.
There's 4 floppers here.
Okay, awesome. Where the fuck is my purple marker?
It's near the collider. Right near Nat,
Oh, there it
actually.
is.
It's actually right near where he died.
And I
It's 'cause
got
it's not
Ben's
in my
thingy
sky, so I was confused.
It's a cool skin.
Oh, I'll go to this
Ah!
this reboot van. Right over here.
People.
Hey,
hurt
Shifty?
me.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's like 14 people on top of me.
That's a lot of bodies.
That's
must
more
be-
than years you've been alive.
Yep.
Llama!
That was not the time. Nat, is there someone near you? Oh, yep. They are
This is awkward.
oblivious. However, there
Hey,
are
bro,
people coming towards
or
you.
Ben, are you spectating?
Yeah, I was spectating you.
Okay.
However, they're gonna be heading towards you.
Okay, somehow they didn't see me.
Oh, there's a lot of people around.
Truck.
Whoa, that's a lot of things on fire.
Yeah.
Ooh, harpoon
Piper,
gun.
probably not the best
Oh my
bet. Just
God.
leave. No, no, no. What are you doing? Leave.
Okay, leaving.
There's one over
Running.
here. if you
Wait,
can
so
get
I
to
only
it.
have 8 floppers.
Wait, what? We're
Only
running?
8 floppers.
Oh!
Yeah,
running to?
Piper's leaving where she is. They're fighting each other. Leave, 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 leave.
Okay, leaving.
Piper, leave.
You always act a split second too late. Okay, Ellie.
You wouldn't mind giving me a hint?
Oh, I'm
Thank
sorry, I
you.
stole your knife. Nick, one more on your head. What do you wait?
Oh, bro,
Dead.
they're literally dead.
What the
They're
heck?
so dead, bro. They're literally on top of me still.
I don't have any long range weapon.
Pistol.
Just run out and Piper.
Okay. I do good at doing
Nick,
that.
if he's coming behind me, you let me know.
Oh.
He's right there. Nah.
Piper got distracted by a downed person.
What?
You just got distracted by that downed person. You like were chasing him around the tree when you saw someone else there. Alright.
Got it.
Nice.
Nah.
We at least got the bounty. There's still plenty of people around.
People are up on
I'm
the.
You are
dead,
not
right?
sick
Yeah.
of that.
Yeah, just
Time to clutch up with floppers.
That literally has infinite floppers.
All 4 of
It's
them.
a 4v1.
Yep. It's actually a 4v1v1.
Break my tree.
The other guy's knocked.
Up, they broke my
Wait,
tree.
no, that's not right.
Yeah, there was a team of 4 that was fully up,
Yeah, I was gonna.
and another single somewhere.
That's not how math works. Alright, well that
I
sucks.
should have just aimed better.
Okay, to the lobby.
I almost got another 200,000 XP. That was good.
I almost got like.
What was that?
Who was that?
I blew my nose?
Oh,
Oh.
how dare you.
You guys said that with such disgust.
No, just curiosity. Alright, bye bye.
Bye bye.
Actually, wait.
Bye-bye.
I'm gonna buy into bonus rewards.
What are you at now? You must be almost done with that next page, right?
Yeah, the only
I have
thing
to
I
get
have left
off.
on.
I'm just going to rewards.
Good night, guys. Bye. The only thing I have left on that page is Doctor Strange.
Nice. Oh yeah, you're totally gonna get there.
I'm not too worried.
You did all the.
Okay.
Have you finished Omni Sword?
You mean the Omni chips
Oh yeah.
or the
Have you gotten all the upgrades for the Omni Sword using the Omni
Yeah,
chips?
I have.
Okay. 6 days. Did your food get there?
Yeah.
Nice. Have you eaten it?
Yeah, I ate the mac and cheese.
Oh. How was it?
Good.
Nice. Matt's still
Okay.
here.
Nice.
Hey,
But I
kick her.
think no, she's. I have to. Oh, I just got something to take to bed. I didn't sell it for anything, but I was like,
Say that again?
you come, I said, I posted it on Facebook Marketplace. I was like, if you come pick it up, you can have it. I was like,
Oh, nice.
I just need to get rid of this. So, someone named Mario,
When's that gonna be?
9 a.m. tomorrow.
Oh boy. No fun.
I need to go to bed soon.
Yeah. 11:22. So hold on, let me do this
Oh,
math.
he's 22.
45 days, 14 hours. Hold on, let me open up calculator.
I'll do it.
You'll do it?
45 times 24. Plus
Hold
how
on.
many extra
Whoa,
hours?
whoa, 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 whoa. Slow down, slow down. 45
That's
hold on.
1,094 hours.
plus 14.
Yeah.
And then look at the Xbox. My throat, I've had to clear my throat so much recently. I don't know why. I want to let me. Oh, here we go. Fortnite. Oh, there we go. Stats. Plus 14 days, 1 hour.
Okay, hold on.
I'm gonna do 14.
Yeah.
Fourteen times 24 is 336. Plus 1.
Okay, hold on. Plus 336.
Mm-hmm. Plus 1.
1,431.
Nice. 1,000 hours.
Yeah.
Wait, what was it again?
1,431.
Okay, bye, guys.
400.
Bye, Nat. Love you.
Oh. Weird. Oh, because I'm an idiot. So, damn. I'm looking
I
at,
want to see how much I played.
you probably can.
What is your account level? What does that mean?
That means like over collective seasons, how many levels you've gotten. What's yours?
What's yours?
1,291.
938.
Nice. We've been pretty much,
Only for my Switch, yeah.
yeah. I'm trying to see.
And I've had my Switch for just a little over a year.
Yeah, before that, what was it? It was just your phone and computers when you could?
Yep,
Wild.
just my phone. Well, then there was that long stretch where I didn't have.
Yeah.
I was so sad.
It was my R6 days. And the thing is, I've been thinking about starting to play Rainbow Six again on computer. But like, it's just a bit much for me to get into again. Let me look if it has cross progression so I don't have to unlock everything. Rainbow Six Siege cross progression. I don't think it does.
I tried a new candy today and it was so good. I got Nerds gummy clusters. So it's like a little gummy thing covered in nerds and it was actually kind of bomb.
Nice.
I'm gonna go off of Fortnite so I can go see if I can look on my Switch to see how many hours I've done.
Okay.
Okay.
I think
one sec.
hold on. From what I read, it seemed that like you could only do it through the Nintendo Switch parental controls app. I don't know if that means anything to you, but from a cursory glance for an article, she's gone. Why am I still talking? I think I'm actually gonna wrap up stream. How long have I been streaming for? Man, again, not a very long stream. I'm sorry about that. After like June 6th or something, I'll be able to do a lot longer streams, and maybe I'll do. Oh, actually, I need to get ready for tomorrow. So, no stream tomorrow. Maybe streams for the week after that. We'll see. If they are, they'll be with Piper here. What else? What else is there to say? Nothing really. Yeah, I got nothing. I think I need to work on cutting down my ending spiels, you know? Because I always talk so much at the end of this, and I don't really know why. All I really gotta say is just like, plan for the next stream. Hope to see you there. Bye-bye. But I always say more than that, and I don't really know why. Let's take a look at my YouTube analytics. Getting some views here and there. When I say views, I mean very few views, but more than my average. So, all right, I'm gonna wrap it up. It's been great. Let me exit out of Fortnite. It's been good, people. It's been nice having you. Stop by again sometime. Why don't you? Man, that's all I got, really. I'll catch you all later. Bye-bye.